I get up, I get down, I get twisted around. Oh my God, my spine.
I like that.
Am I AJR?
No, I like that a lot, though. Oh my God, my spine.
Please stop twisting me.
I'm in the ER now. And I can't feel my legs. Been a hell of a ride, but I'm thinking it's time to break. Ah! Huge.
You look like, man, trying to nail it. You look like a F1 driver that just got out of a fiery car crash.
Yeah, I look like a Nico Lauda.
You do. It's given a little bit of that. I don't know who that is, but that sounds like an F1 driver.
That's the dude who fucking crashed his F1 car and burned himself horribly.
Oh, the guy from the one with Chris
from Rush.
From Rush.
Yeah.
What a slept-on movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Oh my God, that movie's so good. Chris Hemsworth and the guy who's the other guy, and he's always the German dude.
Yeah.
Also crushed that movie.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Nico Lauda. What a movie.
You think I would know the name Nico Lauda if I didn't fucking love Rush?
The only F1 content on the internet. Yeah, no, F1 is that thing where I'm like, I see it from a distance and I'm like, ooh, too expensive. Like, like being a fan of it seems expensive.
Ever since starting boxing lessons, I've like halved my aspirations.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of things like F1 where you look at that and you're like, man, that looks sick.
I could drive.
Yeah,
I could drive 70.
I could drive that. It's just a sprinkle of danger. I'd be down. I like learned the 1, 2, 3, 4 combo today, and I'm like, why does everyone do this?
Yeah.
Why would anyone do this?
This is good. This is a good ego check. Like, I like
Boy,
that you were living in blissful ignorance where you were like, oh, I can do everything because I've never tried anything.
Yeah.
And now you're trying things and you're like, oh, it hurts sometimes. And also I hate being sweaty.
If I knew how hard boxing actually was, I never would have put actors through it for my short film.
If you know how hard boxing was, I don't think you would have recommended we do a boxing match at equal weight.
Listen, I was always going to box you.
Yes.
I was always going to end up here because there's no way we were going to do a debate boxing thing and not participate.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous Ludwig doesn't chess box.
He does. He did.
Does he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, then good.
Yeah.
Then, I feel like if you are like, hey, I'm hosting an event where people will get hurt, you have to
Gotta
also...
put yourself on the line.
Yeah, you
Can't
gotta
sue me
do
if
it.
I also got boo-boo.
Yeah, exactly.
I also injured. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like when you finally hit me with your first punch and just break all of your fingers. Because you threw a half-speed punch at me at our music video and almost snapped one of them.
Yeah, my finger like almost just now healed.
Wow.
Yeah,
huge for
it
you.
still hurts.
Yeah, I get to punch back in the other one.
Yeah.
So huge news for the podcast here, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
I know our last episode, we hit 100 episodes, which is really cool. But unfortunately, the timing of that episode was like 2 days off from us hitting 100K on YouTube. Which means we're getting our silver play button. And we're gonna put it somewhere. Oh!
Could go there. I don't know.
Could go right over my shoulder. Yeah, could go right behind me. I got a little
good.
blank space. Listen, as somebody who has 4 silver play buttons,
Yeah.
that's exactly silver play button size.
Nice.
Also, but YouTube is skimping with silver play buttons nowadays, dude. The second, like back in the day, a couple of years ago, the second you hit 100K, they were like, sent you an email. They're like, order it. Oh, you want an extra one? $150. Now, I don't even know how to get mine for Anime IRL. We're encroaching on 200K.
Wow. Yeah.
And we're going to sell Anime IRL, like apparently, so I won't even get the chance.
That's not true, just for anyone briefly panicking.
No, we're good. You know, unless I get offered, enough money. And then it'll be, listen, it's up for sale.
I wonder
everything I own is up for sale.
I wonder if you get enough silver play buttons, they Voltron into a gold.
10. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd assume it's maybe like a deal, right? It's like 8 turns into gold.
Yeah, it's an exchange program.
Yeah.
They should do like a cash. They should do a cash for gold play buttons.
As in, like, you buy a gold play button?
I guess so.
How much?
That's a scumbag dad waiting to happen.
What do you mean?
Like cash for gold play buttons, and it's like I was low on rent, and I brought my gold play button down to Paul. Thanks, Paul.
I like that idea a lot. It's like just like old YouTubers being like, fucking Epic Meal Time, being like, we have a diamond one. Do you want it?
Yeah.
I don't know if my cholesterol levels can take more bacon. That'd be awesome. That'd be really, really good. Yeah. No, it's like my one dream to have a gold one. But one day, it's fine.
I'll bring mine. You can check it out.
I'm gonna choke you. I'm gonna choke you to death. Chris has one. Chris has one.
Well,
he doesn't post long form.
It's easier to get with shorts.
It cheapens it. It cheapens all. Anyways,
does
so we've
cheapen
hit 100K, which is incredible. Thank you guys so much for following us along on this journey. We plan on doing it for a long, long time. So we appreciate you guys making us the second biggest anime podcast on Earth. And we're gonna hopefully keep making content for you unless the One Piece fandom finally gets to me.
Yeah.
Which, oh boy.
Were they coming for you?
Oh, they're on me
because
I don't know what we were thinking, Dan. We were like, let's do a drinking podcast where we talk about our hot takes and we try to defend them, not knowing that our fucking shorts editors are just trying to act. I think
they hate us.
I think we must have screwed them over in past life or something. It was something we must have kicked them or if it was revealed that our shorts editor was his high school bully or something, and he was like, I'm gonna get him, and then he's just slowly using my own words to cut down my career. Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
The last hot take we did, I was like, half a bottle of vodka in,
right,
hammered, ruined my day.
You wouldn't know it from our editors.
You wouldn't, because boy oh boy did it not say drunk defending hot takes or anything. It's just Nick, who's a surprisingly coherent drunk, being like, One Piece's world building worse than Hunter x Hunter's. And that's not true. I know that's not true. This isn't going to make it to the short form, but I love Hunter x Hunter. And I think Hunter x Hunter and One Piece have very similar levels of world building, but I think Hunter x Hunter accomplishes it in less time. But boy, oh boy, was that not the message that I conveyed in our short form put out. From all the people, and here's the thing, the discrepancy between the amount of people that watch our short form and watch our long form is so astounding. Because so many people will be like, I can't believe it. So many people watch our TikToks and have just never seen our actual podcast.
Yeah. No, that's entirely true. Here we go. It's got 70,000 views, lot of comments, 500 comments. Yeah. Just saying the Dark Continent is a thing isn't world building. Having a big world doesn't mean anything. Boom. Yeah. 1 out of 10 rage bait. Nice try. Let me see. Did bro just use pacing as an argument for world building? Cooked. Me absolutely torched. Bro named 3 things that were cool and said it was better than OP, and then a clown emoji. That's a Neanderthal take. Yeah. Bro named 3. Bro gave evidence and then thought that was evidence.
I'm sorry, how many pieces of evidence did you need from me here? Let me unfurl every time a world has been built in Hunter x Hunter.
It's like bro cited evidence why he didn't commit the crime and wants to go free.
Yeah, what are we talking about here?
People see one map and call it good world building. So it seems like a lot of it is people saying that the Dark Continent is an actual world building because it doesn't actually exist yet.
We haven't gotten there yet. We have. We're on our way. We got a big boat. We got a big boat. We're on our way there right now. Anyways, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to celebrate the fact that I'm getting. I was getting called again. Dorothy stumbled upon 2 new dogs. Time out. Before we move any further, I want you guys to be well satiated when you're listening or watching to this podcast. And I don't want you guys doing all the hard work of trudging down to the grocery store and chopping vegetables and boiling fruits and sauteing meats and all that. And then, then I have all these dishes, which is why I want to talk to you about this week's sponsor, Factor. Danny, you're a big Factor fan.
I love pre-cooked meals. I hate cooking.
I don't even think it's a hate thing. You just simply can't cook.
I just won't do it.
Yeah,
it's a matter of will.
Mm-hmm. And so that's where Factor has hooked you up for a long time. You're on a little bit of a bulking journey right now.
I'm on a bulk.
Danny's up what? 15 pounds?
Since birth.
Yeah, since birth.
Yeah,
you got to be up close to 10 pounds, right?
I'm at 135 now.
Cool. And so, that's the thing. It's Danny's got to be eating 3,000 calories a day right now,
I eat 3,400 calories a day.
You weigh 135 pounds.
Yeah.
God, thank God you have Factor,
I'm trying.
Dude. You be in the kitchen all day.
Do my absolute best.
And that's where Factor's got Danny covered, because Factor's got a myriad of different meals that you can choose from every single week. Over 30 meals you can choose from that come with different categories. They cover everything from vegetarian, vegan, keto,
big
for your protein, little keto base, whatever you need, Factor's got you covered. And fortunately for you, you get to skip the hassle dishes, grocery stores.
You just throw that shit out in the recycling.
In the recycling.
Because it's plastic.
And you don't have to do anything. You just throw that meal in the microwave for 2 minutes.
Yeah, wait, throw it out after you've eaten it.
Yeah, definitely consume. Throw the vestibule out. The food should go into you.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to be like Danny and you guys want to pack on some meat or lose some weight or get some time back in your schedule, that's where Factor is going to come.
Give me back my time, Factor.
Yeah, it's saving you time every single week because it's delivered straight to your door weekly, baby. From them to you, fresh, delicious, dietitian-approved, chef-crafted meals, baby.
Yeah,
so,
I gotta eat 4 meals a day. I don't think you guys understand how much time that would devour if I had to cook all of those.
Yeah, that's just not happening.
No.
Epic the Musical wouldn't get filmed.
It just simply isn't happening.
So if you guys are happy about Epic the Musical coming out, I guess say thank you to Factor Meals. So go ahead and head to factormeals.com/otakus and use code Otakus50 to get 50% off. That's code Otakus50 at factormeals.com/Otakus50 to get 50% off.
That's a deal.
That's a steal.
We've stolen it.
It's mine now. I've eaten it. All right, guys, head to factor.com. On to the show. The long story short here, Dorothy found 2 dogs tied to a tree. I was afraid that we were about to have 4 dogs, but they just live with a woman who lives in her car. My God, can I not imagine having 2 pit bulls living in a car? Holy shit, shout out to that woman.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways.
Comments are going wild.
What?
There's a bidding war.
For what?
For me, I guess.
Danny?
Yeah.
What would you sell? What are we talking about here? We're talking about usage rights? We're talking about using them as a whole? Are we talking about companionship?
I just see a lot of dollar signs, a lot of numbers.
How much would you sell every dollar that you would make for the rest of your life for?
What does that mean?
So I'm saying somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, for an X amount of money, you do what you're doing right now for 10 more years, but every dollar goes to them. What do you sell it for? Now, mind you, if you can either sell it for higher, or like basically what you're guaranteeing is like, oh, IP rights over the next 10 years for everything that you've made or ever will make. What do you sell it for?
I feel like it'd be tough to want to keep doing it, knowing I already have the money.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I mean, they could be like, hey, post a certain amount of videos, but I would just make shitty videos.
Yeah,
I'd be like, hey guys, this week, nacho cheese, we're trying it. Here I am, my Lamborghini Urus, eating the wettest food I can find.
Dude, I would love. There was a YouTuber named ProZD who started doing he's like, I try every flavor of Oreo.
Nice.
And then it's just 40 minutes of that.
And I mean, like,
that sounds like the dream.
that's unreal.
Yeah.
What a gig. My God, just sitting down with 40 different Oreos and being like, hey, let's have a day.
I like that idea.
That's great. All right, so I want to do a quick bit of news about the podcast outside of the fact that we hit 100K. I am going to be gone this weekend. And then after this weekend, not this weekend.
No, you're
Monday.
not.
Monday, I leave. But it's like a 3-day weekend. So it's like technically like it's still a weekend. I think MLK Day is this Friday?
No, that happened.
What?
That happened on the inauguration.
What do you...
That's why it was such a big deal.
Oh, it's President's Day. Very different thing, especially currently. But President's Day is on Monday, so it's like a long weekend. I leave on Monday to go get a back tattoo. I am getting sedated. I'm getting forced little sleepy times for 9 hours, and then 4 tattoo artists who I'm going to give shout outs to right now. 4 wildly talented tattoo artists are all going to be tattooing me simultaneously.
What is this for? Are you an Ink Masters contestant?
No. So my buddy Winnie the Drew, who did my thighs, was like, "Hey, I want to do this collab with these 3 other artists, and I need somebody who is willing to let somebody have 4 people tattoo him at once." I was like, "Oh, cool, that's me. Yeah. I'm your guy." And I am his guy, except for the fact that I don't think anybody could sit through 4 people tattooing them simultaneously, conscious for 9 hours without taking fentanyl.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be getting tattooed by Alejandro Guzman.
I love him.
Jordi Alejandro Pla.
He's better.
Winnie, and then Laura still here, who are all fucking 4 crazy talented tattoo artists. And then over the course of 2 days, so I'm getting sedated 2 days in a row, I am getting an entire Castlevania back piece done.
I like the idea that 3 out of 4 are incredible, and the 4th
Like
is
Steve is like, it's like, and my daughter's gonna get in here. She's doing the back lower half of your like she's doing actually most of the work if we're being real.
all the faces are like derpy faces. She's like, she want to do the faces.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She got tired. All right, we ran out of Bluey episodes to show her.
Yeah, you're like, it's the Last Supper. It's all faces.
Judas. Judas isn't even there.
They all look like Ditto.
Oh, the Last Supper, but they're all Ditto is a great tattoo.
That is good.
Oh man, the Last Supper, but replace all the people with Pokemon is a fucking unreal tattoo. Who would be Jesus?
I bet someone's done it. Let me see real quick.
You're saying Last Supper Pokemon?
Yeah.
All right, but before you look it up, I want to. Who's Jesus in that scenario? It's not, and don't say Arceus because Arceus is God.
Lucario?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he looks like him.
But he's not a legendary.
Okay.
You know. Like it's like that's
they're all animals is tough. Lucario's the only one that stands.
They're not all. Like Dialga's the master of time. All right. Like
he's not like a guy.
He's God is what he is. He's a primordial being.
I'm saying they have to be sitting at a dinner table.
That's fair. Dialga sitting at a dinner table is
or they just at like a trough. You know,
it should be trough adjacent.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just doing fucking. I don't know how many people were the last
12,
something like that. I don't know how many disciples Jesus had. It's all made up. But. You would need 12 bipeds.
Yeah.
Is there 12 They're absolutely
Mewtwo.
Especially now. Mewtwo is the answer. Or is it Mew?
Is Mewtwo Judas?
I think. Oh, that's cool. I kind of like the idea of Ditto as Judas, though.
Yeah,
right? Like a little blob with a knife sticking out of it. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like that.
I wish I was artistically talented.
Yeah, people have done it.
Have they?
It's just fucking. It's not as fun as what we've done.
No, I mean
this one's Arceus is head of the table. Then you got like Dialga, Palkia next to him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like Pikachu's another good answer. Like I see people doing Pikachu here. Okay, so yeah, they made Deoxys Judas. That's smart. Deoxys is a very active hater of Arceus. I like why we're like, oh, we're not going to do a Pokemon episode this episode, and yet here we are.
Yeah,
doing Pokemon. Man,
Dude, Pokemon just has so much. It's like Scooby-Doo. There's so much material. We could do it forever.
Who would the Virgin Mary be in Pokemon?
Let's go. Now we're talking, Nick.
Jinx?
Gardevoir?
I
was going to say Gardevoir.
It's Gardevoir.
I got Gardevoir on the brain lately.
Oh, that's, dude. Do you want to talk about it?
Should we talk about it?
Should we talk about that? The Pokemon made the most fuckable plushie of all time.
So Nintendo's just exposed that they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Their marketing team is cracked.
I saw the Gardevoir, everyone was like, no, please, Pokemon, don't do this. I hadn't seen the Lucario. The marketing difference is so fucking funny, dude.
I can't believe. So you didn't see my original Lucario video?
No.
It's so okay. So you can buy life-sized Pokemon plushies of several Pokemon.
The Lucario,
Gardevoir. They have a Altaria one, which is the only one I'd consider buying. It's the big bird cloud. Yeah. Altaria. They have an Arcanine, which is very cool.
That's sick.
It's very cool. So they have a few.
How much are these?
Like $500.
That seems reasonable.
It's like a beanbag adjacent thing.
Yeah. Except you
fuck it. You don't know what I did with the beanbag?
Listen, I haven't seen that thing in a long time.
It's outrageous they haven't made like a muck. That's just a beanbag.
Make a ditto.
You know? Make a ditto.
Yeah. Make a Garbodor. Yeah, baby. It's like a beanbag, but like filled with like loose syringes.
Trash.
Like, ow. So realistic.
But just hear it like beg every now and then.
Please put me down, please.
So the Lucario marketing is really funny because it's all images. The first like 5 images are just like standard Walmart images of like a white void and Lucario just squaring up.
Yeah.
Then there's like 6 images of Lucario just stealing your hoe.
Yeah.
Just absolutely.
But like being the boyfriend that everybody wants their boyfriend to be.
Yeah. It's there. I've never seen like a body pillow or like plush adjacent thing marketed so heavily to college-aged women.
Yeah, like it is literally the most female gaze marketing I've ever seen in my life.
It's like one of those like male-made cafes.
Yeah.
Where so it's like Lucario like bent over a coffee table
Like
listening.
Yeah. There's one where he's tucking her in. I think there's one where he's like cooking like dinner or something. He's like in the kitchen.
She's like washing dishes and he's like holding the rack.
Yeah, he's holding the rack. That's what it was. Like he's helping with chores.
It's so funny. He's just like a little house companion. And there's like, there's one where like she's taking a nap, like a human woman is taking a nap, and he's like got his hand on her head.
Holding it. Yeah, could you imagine you came home and there was just like Lucario's like tucking your girlfriend in? You're like, what the fuck?
I'd rather be caught masturbating than caught doing any of the things in those footage.
Fucking a Gardevoir plush than like being nurtured by the Lucario one.
So there's like 6 images of Lucario just treating your girlfriend the way you'll never be able to.
Yeah.
And then the Gardevoir one is those 5 like white void images, and then one of her just like standing in the corner and your girlfriend is like off doing work.
Like she's like on her computer and Gardevoir's like in the corner like a kept secret or something. Like it's crazy.
Like hiding from your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then there are no other lifestyle images.
That's it. Because they know. They know it's easier to sell to men than it is to women.
They know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Like, what's the alternative? She's just taking it from behind. Like,
Yeah, I mean, they're just showing you how, like exactly where to place the stitch.
Just Gardevoir with a cigarette in its mouth.
I would be really funny if we got one for the pod.
I know.
And then like every episode just got a little bit dirtier. Like 100 episodes in, it's just fucking, she's missing an ear.
Just
like
dripping. You can hear it.
the stories I could tell.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just split in half up to the neck somehow. Like,
she kept talking back.
oh, I really want one. The second like it goes away for pre-order, it'll be sold out. Like you'll never get a Lucario one.
Oh no.
That is a good idea
We'll
for
probably
the
get one
pod.
from like Harmy. Like one of those like stores will get their hands on it.
Yeah. It's just so funny.
It's so funny. It's such a good bit.
It's
When they
really
make the
funny.
Mewtwo one, that's an instant cop.
Yeah, that's a good. The Altaria one, I'll show you Altaria.
Is it just like a big? I know what a Altaria looks like, but like, is it just like a big pillow? Like,
It's just like
I feel like the whole thing with like, the life size thing is like, oh, it's like a bite. Go, give me a Groudon. Give me like a 6-foot Groudon, dog. That'd be sick as hell.
it's like a dog bed.
Yeah. Yeah, like that one. See, that makes sense, right? Because like it could like literally be a dog bed, and that would be kind of dope.
You kind of need to be like a really well put together Asian college girl to
100%.
like fit this aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the model they have here is like perfect for. It's like it makes.
She's dressed all in white. She's in an all white room.
Yeah, it makes this look like a fashion statement.
It's the least creepy out of all the picks. It's also the most fuckable bird in Pokemon, unfortunately, except for Corviknight.
Corviknight.
Corviknight, listen, those are two different sides of the equation here. Corviknight fucks. Altaria makes love, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Corviknight.
dude, Corviknight like that.
Corviknight fucks raw.
Dude, I love Corviknight's like one of my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Corviknight blasts into your window, and you're like, oh, I thought I kept it closed.
Yeah.
And he just like walks in on his little like bird feet, and you're like, Corviknight, it's so late. And he's like, strip.
And then Tinkaton follows straight through the same window. I thought I saw you, bitch. Oh, that's Pokemon lore. Tinkaton hates Corviknight. Anyways, listen, it's wintertime right now. We're heading into spring, which is why I want to talk to all of our otakus out there that might be dealing with a little bit of sad. You know what sad is, Dan?
Yeah.
You know a thing or two about sad?
Yeah, an easier question will ask me would be,
Yeah. No, we're talking about seasonal
depression.
acute depression, I believe, is where the
This
A
is
comes
probably
from.
the tone we should be addressing this subject
100% with, baby. And listen, while a lot of us out there have coping mechanisms like dogs who sit in our laps or something like that, I want to introduce you a new way to deal with your issues, your sad, your anything, because today I want to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp.
Woo!
A service I have been using for years.
You know what's funny?
What?
I don't know if this will stay in the ad. I get summer depression.
You get summer depression.
I love the winter. I get so depressed in the summer.
That's wild.
The second I smell spring coming, like it's the spring smell that makes me like bummed out.
You know what's really cool, actually, about that is that sounds very specific, Dan. That sounds incredibly specific. And the beauty of BetterHelp is that you have to fill out a questionnaire when you get into BetterHelp. And after filling out that questionnaire and being like, oh, my name's Danny Motta, and 85 degrees and sunny makes me sad for some reason, BetterHelp will connect you, usually in under 2 days, with a therapist tailored to your needs and wants.
Thanks for shaming me during our therapy segment.
I'm not your therapist, all right? BetterHelp is going to get you connected to one who can unpack the trauma.
BetterHelp is going to get me to get over you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, and that is as specific as a BetterHelp need you could ever want. But hypothetically, let's say you weren't getting along with the therapist, or maybe they were like, hey, summertime's great. You should try going outside, getting a little sunlight, something like that. You can switch therapists whenever you want on BetterHelp, easily and for no additional charge.
That's
on
good.
top of that, you can reach out to whatever therapist you have in really whatever means you want, whether that be text, calls, video calls, anything. BetterHelp wants to make sure that you're in touch with your therapist in a way that makes you feel comfortable and seen.
Great. Yeah, that's great. The fact that you can switch therapists so easily is huge, because I know a lot of people, like, the hardest part about getting therapy, once you're getting the therapy, is finding a therapist you like.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And fortunately, BetterHelp has an absolutely massive network of over 20,000 healthcare providers and approved therapists who can help you on your journey to better health. I know I personally have struggled with equating my worth with my views and things like that. And fortunately, BetterHelp has a massive network of people who deal with people just like me to help me through those tough times. So, guys, go ahead and head to betterhelp.com/otakus. That's betterhelp.com/otakus and get 10% off your first month today. I'm getting a back tattoo. I'm then going to Japan, and then I'm going to Korea, and then I'm going to China. Because I've been getting headaches recently, and the American healthcare system is too expensive for me to get an MRI, so I'm going to China.
Nick doesn't have health insurance.
I don't have health insurance.
Nick is the richest version of Charlie Kelly you'll ever meet.
I don't believe in health insurance. A guy just died in the street because they were denying claims.
Yeah.
So I'm going to China, where an MRI is like $30 in a handshake. So.
Oh, did you hear? And I'm getting this news from Moist Critical, so
okay. Wow.
news with
primary
parentheses.
news source.
Yeah, but apparently this girl posted a TikTok. She's like a surgeon. This surgeon.
Yeah.
Posted a
this
TikTok.
full-on medical, expertise woman.
The surgeon posted a TikTok talking about how she was in the middle of a procedure, and the woman who was getting the procedure done, her health insurance called, making the surgeon stop the procedure. And then
mind you, also break the break
the sanitation barrier.
Yep.
Breaking the sanitation barrier. Called the surgeon to confirm whether or not this was a necessary procedure. And she was like making this TikTok, super pissed about it, just like super unprofessional, especially because like they clearly already agreed that it was.
Yeah.
And the insurance company, United Healthcare, confirmed the most denied claims out of any health insurance company.
30%, 33%.
Yeah, so if you have United Healthcare, stop having that if you can. And so she made this thing, and now they're suing her. So I've been thinking about it like all week. I was like, man, I'd love to set up a fund that like is like, hey, if you cancel your health insurance and need a procedure, I will pay for you to fly to a cheaper country and get it done there.
Dude, it cost Dorothy's grandfather. He stayed in ER, intensive care, for 8 months before he died. $100,000. Yeah. He went to a hospital for a week here. $800,000 before insurance.
God, $800,000
before insurance.
How? I feel like you'd think after like 30 people get sick, they're paid off for the year.
You're good.
I can't believe there's all this money in the world.
Yeah, it's insane. It's great. So in China, like it's not free healthcare. Yeah. But like a part of your paycheck goes into a healthcare card that you accrue your entire life, and then you just use that money. And it's like dirt cheap. So I just use Dorothy's parents' money when I'm there for all my healthcare needs. It's so nice going there because I just get to be like 14 again.
Yeah.
They just cook for us, do our laundry, and also pay for everything. And I'm like,
wait, I just realized you're going to get an MRI for headaches. Are you doing all right?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went blind in one eye for like 2 seconds a week ago. Like, not blind. I just got like tunnel vision in one of my eyes. No idea what's going on there.
All right.
It's probably a brain tumor. I don't know. Maybe. I fucking listen. If I
can't wait to shut you off in July.
Dude, when I
just hit that tumor just right.
Nick, fresh off his chemo. I'm like 130. Like
You come
in like you're like I did like 2 cycles of tread. And you're like fucking. I had to beat him.
I like the idea you come like waddling, like shambling out, like paper thin, like with your walker, and you're like, Danny said I still had to do it. I come drop kicked. Like
yeah, you're wearing like 3-ounce MMA gloves. Yeah.
Like even if he was healthy, that wasn't legal. Like,
you rabbit punched him immediately.
Yeah.
I think he has a taser in his gloves.
you know what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking
Speaking of the fight,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a scenario at you.
Okay.
You let me know what you would do.
Okay.
What if the whole fight, I just have my back turned to you until I'm ready to punch you? Because you're not allowed to punch me in the back of my head.
I'm not allowed to punch you in the back of your head.
Yeah.
I can punch you in your kidneys. Like
I have to make a call.
Yeah. Call your boxing coach. Not plan to change. Skip back day. You're trying to get Yujiro Hanba's back and just fucking turtle up the whole time.
Cancel the bets.
You were literally gonna play like, oh man, who's that hero from Rainbow Six Siege?
Like fucking Montaigne or whatever.
Yeah,
with
well,
the
not
shield.
Montaigne, but the London, the British operator with the shield.
Yeah,
Like,
the shield. The big shield that covers his legs even. Like,
no, that's Montaigne.
Yeah.
He's French.
Who are you thinking of?
Clash. You want to play
yeah.
the Clash. She's new. Anyways, so we have a lot to talk about this week. Invincible dropped its first 3 episodes. Danny didn't watch Sakamoto Days. And Solo Leveling crashed Crunchyroll. So where should we start?
Should we do solo level? Or I guess Sakamoto Days, just because it'll be quicker because I haven't
Because
seen
you
it.
didn't see it?
I didn't. It's not out of like disinterest. Like I didn't drop it. Almost more frustratingly, it's because I've watched a lot of other things.
Yes.
I watched first 4 episodes of Pokemon Horizons.
Yes.
Because that's been my gym show. I don't want to read at the gym, which is why
Aren't you with a personal trainer, aren't you? Oh, the only
when I do the cardio stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
I do like an hour with a personal trainer and then 20 minutes of like a run after. So like that's why you were watching One Piece dubbed, because like you can't be bouncing and reading. Like you'll throw up in an instant.
Exactly.
So I've been watching Pokemon Horizons, and I watched Common Side Effects, which is the new HBO show that we'll talk
Do
about.
they own Adult Swim? Is that like all the same thing? Gotcha.
Yeah, it's all the same. Same with Cartoon Network. HBO owns Cartoon Network.
That feels wrong, but that makes sense.
It's all Warner Brothers.
That also feels wrong.
It's all everything's
Warner
under an
Brothers
umbrella.
feels too cheap for HBO. HBO feels too expensive for Cartoon Network.
Yeah, there's only like 4 companies in the world.
That's fair.
Let's be honest.
Procter and Gamble, Warner Brothers.
What was that first one?
Procter and Gamble.
Who is that?
They own everything. Crest, Colgate, fucking the Black and Decker, everything.
I saw like a chart once that was like Coca-Cola actually owns everything. Like, doesn't like Disney own Coke? Something like that.
Fuck if I know.
Let me see who owns Coca-Cola. It's like this chart kind of blew me away and made me want to kill myself.
The Alphabet company owns a lot of shit too. Like they own YouTube and all that.
Meta? Oh, I see.
Meta is Facebook.
Oh yeah, Berkshire Hathaway is the most profitable company above Apple and Microsoft.
Yeah.
Also, NVIDIA is above Amazon.
Well, I mean, yeah, because AI requires like an insane amount of graphic cards until
so, yeah.
DeepSeek kicked down the door.
Yeah. Wow, this Berkshire Hathaway, crazy.
Now you're learning.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's all bad. It's all bad. Everything's bad.
Anyway, Sakamoto Days?
Sakamoto Days. So I guess I'll do my review on Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto and Hard Boiled have an aura off. There's a moment where they're fighting, and Taro's now skinny, and he literally punches Sakamoto in.
Fuck yeah, I missed like a banging episode.
Yeah, you missed it was like the first like 7 or so minutes. Like Lou was doing drunken fist against the girl whose name I forget, and then Hard Boiled and Sakamoto are having like this big old fist fight, which like it looks pretty good. It's like it's a fun fight. It's probably, I'd say, the funnest fight yet.
All right.
I don't know.
Better than the roller coaster?
Last episode, I think, that's fair. Shin's episode was also good. I think last episode was probably the best episode, but this one's still pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Sakamoto and Hard Boiled have an aura off. There's literally a moment where like they like literally crash into a merry-go-round. Merry-go-round? No.
Don't know. I haven't seen it. Ferris wheel?
Ferris wheel. And then they're crash through the wall, and they're both just sitting, like looking at each other, and Hard Boiled just smokes a cigarette. So crazy aura off. And then I basically just talked about how this is like from this episode on is basically where Sakamoto Days gets good from a world building perspective, because they start to introduce like the JAA in like a real sense, and they're starting to like build stakes and scale and all that. And now the majority of like the important mover and shakers have been introduced. We have Nagamo, we have Lu, we have Shin. So it's a fun episode. It's more of a setup episode, like even though it didn't seem like it was going to be a setup episode because it starts with Taro versus Hard Boiled. But like it's a setup episode to build out like the first real arc of Sakamoto Days. So it was fun. It was a fun episode. I mean, yeah. That's about it, you know?
Yeah.
I like that. And that's probably all we would have said, even if you had watched.
Right,
Honestly,
yeah.
we would have like, yeah, it was a fun episode.
It is weird. I do like this podcast because it has me watching kind of mid-tier shows I wouldn't ever otherwise. Like, I never would have finished all of Windbreaker in, like, my normal life otherwise.
Yeah.
And it is good that, like, even if we walk away from some shows being like, I don't really like it, or it was just okay, like, it is nice having it in my catalog.
Yeah, at least we have the most informed possible opinion of it because we watched all of it, you know? Because we were like, oh, I guess we didn't watch all of Daima. Watched way more of Bird Mask Isekai.
Shangri-La
Frontier than I ever would have considered prior. Cool. Do you want to talk about Invincible, which you did see?
I did see. I saw all of it real quick. Just wrapping up with like that section of like Sakamoto, Daima, this and that.
Yeah.
Rick and Morty anime. The second we stopped watching Daima, I stopped hearing about it.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Apparently, they dropped an episode and everyone was like, this is a masterpiece. Like, it was like episode like 17 got like a 9.8 on IMDb or some shit.
I wonder what's going on. I wonder if like a new form or what's happening. Like,
It's probably fighting Majin Ku.
Yeah.
Or maybe Boo is back. I don't fucking know.
I wonder if they fused yet. I don't know.
They almost definitely fused.
Yeah.
That's probably got to be. Honestly, you know what we'll do? We'll call in Stank once a week. We'll have him give us a 5-minute rundown of what's going on in Daima. Or we'll call Ty in.
Yeah.
Okay, Ty, I know it's the best time of your entire life. Give us a rundown of what's going on with this in this the Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah. I agree. I saw the other day the clip from Elusive Samurai where he's like running circles around the guy and just jumping around him. The dude's bleeding out. What a masterpiece.
What a fun. So like just a directorial masterpiece, like doing the most with such a like blah story and like blah characters.
But like that's what I'm talking about, where it's like I never would have heard of or even considered that show had it not been for this podcast.
That's my thing with this season. I feel like we're now 5 episodes in, and by this point we usually find some sleeper from the season that we're gonna watch, and we just don't have that this season.
Yeah, not yet. No.
Like Zenshu, I was like, oh no, immediately. I was like, I'm just not into this. And then just like it's just been Sakamoto Days and Solo Leveling. And Solo Leveling has been huge. Like, you want to talk about Solo Leveling first, actually?
Yeah.
Solo Leveling
I think Invincible will be bigger because it's 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot. Also, as we established before the podcast, we're back.
We're so back.
With Invincible, we may be back.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, this episode of Soul Leveling, episode 6 of season 2, was so big that it joined a very prestigious club that only belongs to, I think,
JJK, maybe?
JJK and Attack on Titan. I think are the only 2 anime that have ever done this. But Crunchyroll crashed.
I think Demon Slayer may have.
You think so? First episode of
I'll look
what?
it up. I'm pretty sure season 3.
That would make sense.
Let me see.
Like, I know for a fact JJK and AOT, Demon Slayer makes sense. It's like it's in that same conversation as those other 2 anime of like the biggest of the last couple of years. But like Soul Leveling is like as of like it's so funny because it's such a silly metric.
Oh, Gear 5 Luffy did.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Every anime that crashed Crunchyroll servers like Gear 5 did. So it's from August 2023. Gotcha. So number 5.
Which is when Gear 5 was.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. Mm-hmm. The 4th season did it.
Oh, really?
I believe,
the first episode of Mugen Train?
Wait, let me see.
Or not Mugen Train, the Hashira training arc?
Let me see.
That's crazy.
No, sorry. Released Demon Slayer's, season 3 finale. So season 3's finale crashed it, which is crazy because people were lukewarm on season 3.
I feel like we hear the takes, but the law of big numbers is like if like it's one of the most popular anime on earth, a lot of people are watching it, regardless of how the most like vocal voices on the internet say or do.
Yeah, that's true. You also got to consider that like your average person who likes something doesn't comment about it.
Yeah, your average person who likes something probably doesn't even interact with media about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Number 4, Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah.
Like episode 1?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Let me see, actually, because I just lied in saying yeah. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be so episode 1 and 3.
Holy shit!
Wow. Yeah, people were big on Chainsaw
I mean,
Man.
yeah, especially here in America, where Crunchyroll is our #1 streaming service.
Do you want to guess what the top 3 are?
Top 3, I'm assuming AOT, one of the final episodes, like part 2 or 3.
That's kind of cheating because number 1 is One Piece.
Okay,
So-
okay. So it's, Gear 5.
Yeah.
AOT, one of the finales.
Yes.
And
the
then
final part, yeah.
I'm going to say maybe the first episode of season 2 of JJK.
Nope. You want to take one more guess?
Is it JJK?
No.
It's not?
Not at all.
Oh my God. It wouldn't be Mob Psycho. It wouldn't be Naruto. Naruto, like I didn't like all of Naruto exists on Crunchyroll, but I feel like I watched Naruto.
If Naruto crashed it would have been like 2006.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a weird shit. I was like, I think I watched all of Naruto illegally.
Yeah.
Like the first 3 times
Yeah.
I watched it. Like there was no good place to fucking find. There still isn't a good place to find the dub, really.
No, Crunchyroll didn't take off until like
2020?
2013 or something. No, I mean like I remember YouTubers promoting it when I was in like middle to high school.
I don't think I had a Crunchyroll account until 2017.
Well, it was silly to have one like because anime wasn't really big. So it's like I'm going to get a whole streaming service
there
for
was
anime.
So many like very highly comprehensive like illegal websites
Yeah.
that like, kept track of where your episode was, like all that. Like Kiss Anime, I was fucking huge on. I had Kiss Anime like hot tabs on my
Yeah.
Xbox, so I'd have to type it in slowly but surely.
Number 3. So number 2 is Attack on Titan. You're right. Number 1 is One Piece.
Number 3 would be. I'm trying to think of like big things from recent years. Kaiju number 8.
No, I'll give you a hint. You're gonna be mad.
I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, you won't like it.
Oh, so Mushoku Tensei?
No.
Oh, okay.
You want to know?
What is it?
Dragon Ball Tournament of Power. Dragon Ball Super.
Wild.
Isn't it weird to realize that Dragon Ball Super and Daima are
Or-
actually really successful?
Like, massively popular, even though we're like these are like awful. That's so man. I wish I was in. I really do. I wish I was inside of it.
Yeah.
Like I wish I was inside the Dragon Ball fandom. I wish I loved it like Ty and like Richard, and, like
Yeah.
all the fans. Because that sounds awesome. And that's kind of the way that I like. Honestly, it's probably how some people feel about Naruto.
Yeah.
Like it's like oh you read Boruto. I'm like fuck yeah, I read Boruto, dude. It's great.
Yeah.
So like. I guess I just have biases, and like unfortunately my bias isn't so hard that like I would ride or die for Dragon Ball. I love Z, I love the movies, but like I can't be fully invested in not good Dragon Ball content.
No, I am like ingrained in the biases because honestly, it's just like anytime I look back on the things I love in Dragon Ball, a lot of it comes from like the grit of it, where it's like, it often feels like the characters are like gonna die or like the villain's going to win. Like it was better at tricking you.
Because they did the villains just did win.
Yeah, they just won. Boo like genocides the planet,
Yep.
and like there's a clip that I saw
We
that
see Future Gohan fucking die to the bad android. Like
Yeah.
that's not even the strong android.
it was just like way grittier and like had a way stronger sense of danger. There was a clip I saw that was great where like Goku is like just literally begging Boo to just stop.
Yeah.
Like after like everything they tried didn't work, he's like just stop.
Yeah.
Please, I'm not having fun fighting
This
anymore.
is- I don't know if I'm
Like,
getting stronger at
yeah,
this point.
yeah. He's like, I just hate this,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's character development. Like Goku being like, I'm not having fun fighting anymore. Let's stop.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Man, Z was so goddamn good.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so yes, Soul Leveling, Crash Crunchyroll, joining the incredibly prestigious group of Dragon Ball, AOT, One Piece,
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer. I guess JJK didn't do it. It wasn't on that list.
No.
But yeah. And I said I could say, goddamn, I can see why. That was my first note because that episode was nuts.
Can I give a hot take?
Go ahead.
Can I give a lukewarm take?
Go ahead.
Solo Leveling
Yeah.
is just One Punch Man.
Go off.
It's One Punch Man with the only difference being it'd be as if you saw Saitama become One Punch Man.
Can I build on that?
Yep.
It's One Punch Man if Saitama was hot.
Okay, fair.
It's One Punch Man if Saitama, like, it's One Punch Man without the comedy related
Yeah.
aspects of, because the entire thing with Saitama is like, he's poor.
Yeah.
No one recognizes any of the hero accomplishments he's done, like he does. He loses all of his hair, and like he has no dating whatsoever. Replace all of that comedy with the male power fantasy and like that
Yeah.
Shinwoo and Soul Leveling. 100%.
Yeah, because I keep going back to, they did it again where they enter a dungeon and everybody's like, what? This was supposed to be a different kind of dungeon.
Yep.
And they have like the leader.
What time is this? So there's the double dungeon. There's the red gate. There's this one. feel like I'm missing another one of those.
The first one of the season when they go into the snow and the elves
that's the
show
Red
up.
Gate, yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's definitely one before the Red Gate, right?
I think so.
Regardless, 4's a lot.
One of my notes is, at what point do we start blaming Jinwoo for all these fucked gates? Because, hey, buddy, put this guy in jail or make sure he doesn't go into another gate because, like, oh, we misread it. No, I don't think that's what's happening. I think anytime Jinwoo goes into a gate, it fucking levels up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, we need to stop
scales,
him.
yeah.
Like, just don't avoid him. Put wanted posters out. Be like, don't go into a gate with this guy.
Every time he goes into a gate with somebody, they go in, they do the whole, like, this gate was supposed to be a different kind of gate. And the leader goes, come on, guys, charge. And then he turns around and everyone's doing this face.
Yeah, they're doing the...
Yeah, they're doing, like, the deer in the
I
headlight.
hit myself so hard.
I heard a tooth get loose.
No, you heard, like, air get pushed out of my mouth like I was Kevin McAllister.
Yeah.
Ow.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm great.
You sounded like a skeleton doing a little Jamaican
God, stop
song.
It was hard.
Damn. Anyway, nothing Chinese doctor can't fix.
Yeah, there we go, baby. A little CAT scan can't figure out.
But yeah, that's the formula. And then Jinwoo comes in and sweeps it no problem.
Yeah.
And that's literally the formula of One Punch Man,
Yeah.
where they fight a monster and they're like, well, he's a stronger monster than we thought he would be.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Everyone does the face. And then One Punch Man shows up and it's no problem at all.
Yeah, they fight a monster and then it's like, oh, good job, guys. We barely survived those weaker monsters. And then there's either more of them or they're like, those were their lackeys kind of thing. And yeah, no, it is exactly that. And the craziest part is the story also heads in basically the exact same situation. One, Saitama gets actively recruited to join the Heroes Association. Like, eventually he gets his recognition. And they're like, oh, we got to get you on our team here kind of thing. And they're like, oh, we'll give you all this money. Come live with us kind of thing. And then God gets introduced. And so, like, that, wow.
It is funny, though.
That's a great take.
Well, it's interesting because I like solo leveling and I don't like One Punch Man.
Yeah, because it's not funny. You love a male power fantasy.
Well, I like what helps keep it interesting for me is seeing Jinwoo's progression.
Yeah.
Even though he's never going to really reach a challenge because that's the bit.
No, you're right.
Like, that's the bit.
No, you're right. I was going to be like, no, but no, you're right.
It is nice, at least when he beats someone, he does like a Mega Man style upgrade where he's like, oh, I get a thing. And then you're like, nice, I can't wait to see him use that thing next time.
Yeah.
With One Punch Man, it's like, he's going to punch him at some point.
He's going to punch the hell out of him.
He's never going to be like Two Kick Man. You know,
fair.
there's never like
That's
a
fair.
shakeup.
That's a good idea. Honestly, because there is no sense of progression. There is moments where you can see Saitama getting stronger. Like, there's dialogue about it, like in his and Garo's fight. Garo's like, I'm growing like exponentially, but Saitama's growing by a higher factor kind of thing.
Well, that's
like,
the thing. The interest in One Punch Man in terms of the fights seems to come more from the villain. Like, Boros is awesome.
Yeah.
But that's because Boros is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because Saitama's doing anything.
The way that it scales, like the way that, like so kind of like with Jinwoo, you're like, oh, he has a shadow army now. And like you can see, like you see him pull up his shadow army and you're like, oh, there's Ikris, there's Iron, there's, a tank, there's all the soldiers. And now like, oh, there's Tusk. Like you see these characters that like he built up and it feels like you're playing an MMORPG where like when you level up, you get a new skill and you use that skill to scale higher. With One Punch Man, the progression is scale. So like it's not like because Saitama uses anything from normal punch to serious punch to consecutive normal punches or consecutive serious punches. That never changes, but the scale of the damage does.
Yeah. I'd like to argue if you have to do consecutive normal or serious punch, you are no longer One Punch Man.
No. But that's the thing. So, like, that's like he only ever encounters a couple of people that, like, make him be the not. Like, and that's when you're like, oh, this fight is serious.
Yeah.
Like, when you see Saitama punch somebody and they're not, like, half gone, you're like, oh, final boss.
Well, exactly. It's Saitama. The fights are only interesting if the villain is cool enough and the animation is good enough. Because Saitama just rolls up to a fight, lets them ragdoll him for a bit. And then it just depends on how cool the ragdolling is.
Yeah.
Because then the second Saitama fights back, the thing's over.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was pretty fucking cool. I like when he made a bunch of dragon heads.
That was, dude, the song of like Dragonfire and all that. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Kargalan, which is like the guy, the like head shaman's name.
The orc,
Yeah, is super dope as a character. Like, so what do you think what was going on when he was like, I want your idea, because I've read the books, but I want your idea on when he was like, ever since my eyes awoke in this place, I've heard just like destroy the humans.
Yeah.
What do you think's going on there?
I thought it was really interesting. What did I write? I wrote, I just wrote Orc getting weirdly introspective. That's not helpful.
Okay, good. Your notes, I feel like, rarely are.
Yeah, they're never. But I thought it was interesting getting this perspective from an NPC and also getting confirmation that they are like NPCs, where he's like, I don't know if there's anything before him awakening in this area, but it's interesting, like, you get this sense that, like, it's not just Jinwoo's system that acts like a game. It's like the world is like, there's some higher power that is gamifying everything.
Yeah.
Like, they're bosses in the literal sense. They're NPCs in the literal sense. And we get, like, his POV, and he's like, hey, the dude just turned the game on. I spawned here.
Yeah.
And I got my directive. And I like that he's struggling with, like, I followed that directive. Why am I being punished?
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
I didn't really think about it like that. Like, he was like, yeah, like, why give me this directive if I could lose, kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's really interesting, the idea of, like, yeah, like I was given an order, and I'm meant to follow that order, and I'm meant to fail in it.
Yeah.
And that's fucked. And I thought that was cool.
Yeah. It's so funny because I literally just saw a TikTok recently about a video game that came out where you play as the boss. You play as like the final boss in this castle or something, and like a hero keeps coming back to you.
Oh, that's cool.
And you have to keep defeating them. They learn your moves and stuff. I forget what it was called. Otherwise, I would shout it out.
That's really cool.
But it looked really cool, and I was like, I can't believe no one's ever done that kind of thing. But like you can get new, like you as the hero can like as the boss can like upgrade and shit, and but so does the hero. So you have to keep beating them. It looked really, really cool. But yes. I would say this is a great episode, like Jinwoo unveiling his army and then being like, don't look down on my guys, aura farming, of course.
Right.
Jinwoo, like soul leveling, just aura farming the entire show.
Well, I also wrote, at one point, someone goes, they've got a lot more aura than the other high orcs.
Yeah.
And I want them to go, you see those skulls around their shoulders? They're Gucci.
Yeah.
Like,
You just look over the orcs like,
yeah, it's just,
fucking ice in the veins, dude. No, it was so cool when he was like, there was like this visceral moment of like, he raises all of the high orcs to battle against the other army, like their own army, and he's like, you'll be a shadow soon too.
Yeah.
You can just see fear because like imagine somebody pulled that on you. It's like fighting against zombies. Like if we lose anybody in this fight against zombies, they're now added to the ranks of people we have to fight against.
that's like that bit in Game of Thrones. Did you watch the original Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
That's like that bit where the Night King attacks Hardhome, and it's this brutal fight, and they just barely like manage to keep the White Walkers back.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fight, they all flee and they make it out with like as many people as they could. And then at the end, there's just a bunch of corpses, and the Night King just raises them all, and it's like, oh, not only did we do all that for nothing, it benefited him.
Yeah, he needs more of this to go on. We're fucked. I would say though the CGI got a bit choppy in moments in this episode, but like outside that was still very impressive. Like I feel like if you're doing a big scale like fight with big enemies, usually there's like 3 options. The most expensive option is like we're like drawing them. They're being drawn to fight against each other. The other option is like they're just like we see their like swords are locked and they don't move. And the middle option is CGI. Yeah. And I don't think the CGI was like bad in any particular moments, but I was just like, oh yeah, like this is like a bit choppy at moments.
I really didn't notice.
Really?
I didn't notice any of it. But
wow.
Yeah.
You're such a lover.
I guess so.
Yeah, you just because here's the thing. Every allegation's ever been thrown at you where you're like, oh, Danny just watches blank for the fight. Your blind and complete love for soul leveling validates that claim to a T.
What are you talking about?
You love soul leveling because it's just like turn it on and you see a guy be real strong and do like a couple of big flippies. Igris's fight against like all of the high up.
Very cool.
So dope.
So sick.
So dope. And I was watching that. I was like, Danny's going to love this moment right here.
Here's the issue with a show like Solo Leveling and JJK.
Yeah.
It's almost like too much of a good thing.
Really?
Because I don't love Solo Leveling. I do love JJK season 2.
JJK has like a comprehensive like plot. Like fundamentally,
Yeah.
like JJK is a better written anime and manga.
I'm enjoying Solo Leveling a lot.
It's very
I
good.
look forward to it.
It's very good.
The problem with both JJK and Solo Leveling, and I felt this in both of these shows, is it's so good at delivering high intensity dopamine rushes that the second it gives me even a 7 out of 10 dopamine rush, I'm like, this show's falling off.
Yeah, like,
this shit's boring.
What do you mean Igris isn't fucking piecing up like 7 high orcs right now? Come on.
Yeah, if it doesn't give me an 11 out of 10 masterpiece of an episode like I've come to expect, it's a failed episode.
Come on, animation man, fucking draw him shiny. No,
Yeah.
Igris like getting like losing his blade and then just summoning his daggers and tossing them into 2 high orcs' heads. So dope. So much like serotonin immediately.
It's so sick, and I do enjoy it, but I think it's part of it is that like they've set the bar so high that it's like I'm constantly terrified they'll never reach it again.
Yeah.
Like with the best episode that comes out, I'm like, well, that's peaked.
Yeah.
Like, but the other issue is that without the fights, I don't think I care at all. Like without the fights in Solo Leveling, I don't know how much I give a shit.
That's kind of what picture like 1A Pictures identified that. Like they were like, oh, no one gives a shit about this entire like everyone was like, oh, you read this for Jinwoo and Jinwoo alone. Like Jinwoo's hot, Jinwoo's cool. Like I want to be Jinwoo. 1A Pictures done a really good job of being like, oh, we're going to build out the world. We're going to introduce the other characters, S-tier hunters. We're going to make the ultimate weapon realize that he may not be able to accomplish what Jinwoo can kind of thing. They're spending more time with Chehae-in and like that kind of shit. Like they're doing a really good job of building out more characters, but still, like it's called Solo Leveling. And that's like actually a talking point in this episode where like they're the fucking, I forget his name, the ultimate weapon, the red-haired S-tier mage who's the head of a guild, the Hunters Guild.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know his name either. But somebody in his guild is like, hey, could you wipe out an entire like high rank like a gate by yourself? And he's like, no, because like the entire system of hunters is that they like work with each other, right? So like they compensate for each other's weaknesses. And like so like that puts the solo in the Solo Leveling. It's why Jinwoo is so rounded. He's an assassin, he's a speed type, he's a necromancer. But like that's like so like you realize like as Solo Leveling progresses, you're like, man, I wish we could spend like an hour. Like that's the difference between One Punch Man and Solo Leveling, right? Is that Jinwoo like that? Like imagine if it was the true difference is imagine if One Punch Man only focused on Saitama.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's like because it's always new people he's going into these dungeons with because nobody fucking survives.
Right.
This is the highest level of no one dies in this one, and it's because they're all A and B ranked hunters.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the S rank hunters are interesting. They're just not in it that much.
Wait until they start getting like American hunters, Japanese hunters.
If they start like getting a little more interesting, then I could see this. Like that's my wish list for Solo Leveling is that it becomes a show where it can give me an episode with no fights and I'm still engaged.
Yeah. That's really fair, actually. But yeah, outside of that, I can absolutely understand why this episode crashed Crunchyroll.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking definitely the best episode of Solo Leveling we've seen. Yeah. My last note is, I said, it's so funny how power fantasy this show is because what do you mean the main love interest hates how other people smell? Like I love the idea of introducing like a really pretty woman who's powerful. She's got like a crazy job. Everybody in the entire country is like, man, I want to be around her. And meanwhile, she's like, I can't be around people. They smell. And the one person she's like smells like roses and honey is obviously the main character of this show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'll never have to worry about anybody ever hooking up with Jinwoo's girl because fucking
everyone reeks.
Because everybody smells like shit. Yeah.
It's so funny. I had a very neurodivergent note.
Okay.
I went, the woman asks for a sword or a spear instead of a pickaxe. The guy offers her a shovel or crowbar, but she takes the pickaxe. Mm-hmm. Should have taken the shovel.
Should have taken the crowbar.
Well, here's why my bit is neurodivergent.
Okay.
Because I'm going to break it down for you.
Okay.
She goes...
But
Anyway, she goes, I would like a sword or a spear.
Yes.
Instead of this pickaxe.
Yes.
And he's like, your options are pickaxe, shovel, or crowbar.
She's like, hey, buddy, construction site.
The thing closest to a sword or spear is the shovel. She wants something to stab with, not swing with. But a pickaxe, if you're good with a sword or spear, you're good with this.
It's not sharp enough.
Yes, it is.
Also,
Yes, it is.
Also, it's the weakest. Like, a shovel's the worst option you could take there.
I disagree. A pickaxe is the worst.
That's simply not true.
It's the heaviest. You got to get the widest wind up.
The S-ranked hunter is worried about a pickaxe being a couple of pounds.
You think an S-rank hunter can't stab somebody with a shovel?
No, there's not like it's about, listen, it's about the product. I'm not saying her holding it doesn't make it a stronger product. Like a pickaxe is literally meant to be swung at rocks and diamonds and fucking hard minerals all day and out. It's hardened steel.
Yeah, but you're leaving yourself so open.
What
and
do you mean?
also, with this,
How slow do you think she swings?
any swing is slower than a stab.
Of course, but also, what are you stabbing through with a shovel?
Monsters?
No.
Crevices?
No. Also, like, all right, if you stab, listen, yes, a shovel is strong, but you could bend a shovel. You hit a rock hard enough, you're bending a shovel. Now imagine you're an S-ranked hunter, one of the strongest beings on Earth, leveling city blocks. Trying to use a shovel? She needs a magical weapon. The strongest thing that she's offered there is a crowbar, a pickaxe, not a shovel.
You could bend a crowbar.
You could?
Yeah.
A way harder to bend a crowbar than it is a shovel because fundamentally it is a tool that's meant to be under stress. A shovel is for dirt. It can be used for the things, but it is for dirt.
I didn't think this
You absolute soft hand buffoon.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking city slicker trying to tell me about goddamn tools.
Anyway.
Oh, I was trying to see if we have an ad today.
Okay.
All right, you want to talk about Invincible?
Yes, I do.
3 big episodes came out all at once. Both you and me hit a collective because every single time a new show comes out with 3 episodes, we're like, yeah, I have 3 hours of free time this week.
Yeah.
Don't. Just simply don't.
Honestly, it's double-edged gulp, too, because Invincible Season 2 was not that good.
Yeah.
I'll admit.
I fully texted Stank. He was like, reminder, guys, Season 3 of Invincible came out. And I was like,
Yeah.
do we have to watch it?
Yeah, Season 2, I really didn't care for. On top of it having much weaker animation than Season 1, the story was just a lot less interesting and a lot slower, which is part the comic's fault as well.
Yeah.
But like,
I think it came at such an unfortunate time because everyone's so burnt out on multiverse bullshit.
Yeah,
and
that
then it was
too.
like, oh, like cool, Marvel has destroyed the multiverse idea, and now we're doing Angstrom leaving.
it is unfortunate too because Invincible has one of the more interesting multiverse plot lines, and it will develop more. Like the concept of multiverse isn't gone with Angstrom Levy. So yeah, it was unfortunate that it's coming at a time where everything's like oversaturated with it.
Just like I've been listening to Rick and Morty talk about this for 10 years. Now Marvel's doing it in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I just can't.
But Season 3 of Invincible,
Yeah.
I'd say all of my gripes of Season 2 fixed, gone.
Listen, I'm still not in love with the art style. I'm going to say that, but like from an animation perspective, it lands. It looks like the fights are really good.
Yeah.
But like that is such a minor issue, like comparatively to the fact that like I think we're already 3 episodes into the season exploring what are some of the better story points that we've done thus far in Invincible, like to the point where I was like, I don't know whose side I'm fully on because like Mark's being a child, but Cecil's being a dictator. Like, it's the first 3 episodes, I was excited to watch Invincible for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I wrote one of my notes was episode 2 is like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of like, it's not a masterpiece in like, I know we bring up Jujutsu Kaisen too much, but like in terms of the Maharaga fight where I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch this yearly. Like I'm going to study this.
Obito, Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke. Like
It's not a masterpiece in that, but it's like, I was like, this is a perfect episode. I have no notes. I'm gripped. I love every conversation happening. And the animation is like, there hasn't been anything like the Omni-Man Mark fight from Season 1. Like, there hasn't been anything mind-blowing, but there hasn't been anything that's taken me out of it.
No.
That's been my issue.
There was a lot of still frames in Season 2. There was like just a lot of like still frames. They were making jokes about it and shit.
Yeah, there was tons of CGI like background elements to the point like they went to a convention at one point and you saw the same Naruto fucker 1,000 times.
It was that one dude in the off-brand Akatsuki jacket. Yeah, that was very funny.
There's like it's like It has just the bare essentials of what I've come to expect from an animated project, and that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Like, the fights happen, and I'm like, good, everything looks up and up.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. But on top of that, yeah, just plot-wise, episode 1 was fine. It's a lot of Doc Seismic running amok.
Kind of for no real Invincible does that occasionally, where it's like, hey, you remember this bad guy from 3 seasons ago? We're gonna give him 35 minutes, and you're like, okay, I guess.
Invincible, the comic, is very similar to One Piece, where they love having reoccurring characters. They love setting up a character in like issue 6 that will have a big impact in like issue 70.
Yeah.
And so, like, in doing that, you kind of risk, like, having to bore people a little bit with, like, oh, he's gonna go fight some dinky nothing guy.
Yeah.
And then, like, 6 dozen issues down the line, Doc Seismic comes and does, like, you know, the biggest catastrophe event in the whole comic.
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that. So it is, like, there are things like that where I'm like, okay, I'll just endure this and know that bigger things are coming. The point of episode 1 was to put the heroes in a situation where Cecil would have to
Send
send the Reanimen and then piss off Invincible.
Yeah.
So episode 1 was fine. I was still a little like, I was like, oh, the animation's more consistent and solid. I'm not super gripped. Episode 2 was just so fucking good.
So sick. Like,
Yeah.
so episode 1 ends with, I believe,
Mark is like in the white room with Cecil.
yeah, and he's like, you're scaring the shit out of me now, Mark. And I really do think that is going to be, I think it's going to be Mark, Cecil, and Oliver are the most compelling points about this entire thing, and the conversation that revolves around what they're talking about. It's kind of like, and it's so funny because you look back at it now, like Iron Man versus Captain America, and what they were arguing about, and how Iron Man was collectively, objectively correct.
Yeah.
But like, because it was a Captain America movie, and like he like has to like envision like the freedom of the world, like him being correct. But Iron Man being
That's so interesting. I've never seen someone agree with Iron Man.
I am wildly pro Iron Man in pretty much any single decision he makes, boys.
Big government guy over here.
If there's fucking superheroes running around destroying New York, they need regulation.
Yeah.
It pissed me off so much.
That's so actually reasonable. You're so right. Yeah.
Iron Man is like, hey, we need regulation. We need a corporate system that like allows for accountability. Like those aliens,
Checks and balances.
New York almost got nuked.
Yeah.
I stopped it from being nuked. And then he's the fucking bad guy for regulate. Oh, it's so silly to me. So silly to me. But Captain America's like, oh, I want to be able to fucking, I want to be able to use Mjolnir to punch a purple alien in the
Captain America's all like, I stand for America, and America has no laws. And it's like, what?
So stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh my God, it's so dumb. Anyways, this is a very similar situation where Cecil and Mark are in like this like moral quandary because Cecil like has been not necessarily, I don't even want to say reprogrammed, but like the previous director of the GDA was like sent him to prison after he ends up shooting the two.
Whatever.
Listen.
Yeah.
That Namaste girl.
That Namaste girl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What a trench coat reveal.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah, never mind. Either the hippie version of her or the scary version of her. Neutron punched me over and he hit my tripod.
You like when he tases her right in the boobs?
Yeah. Where else do you aim?
Yeah.
That's the most, there's water in there. That's how they grow. You gotta aim for the water.
Okay.
So yeah.
That can't be true.
Simply not. It's
Okay.
all fat.
It's like camel humps.
Also not full of water.
Really?
I hate to break that to you.
That's what they're for.
Nope. Not full of water.
What's in a camel hump?
It's like mostly fat, and it's like fat reserves.
Fat.
It's
rats.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's rats in there.
It's all rats. That's why they're so unpleasant to ride.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like Cecil is basically saying like, hey, I'm taking these people that otherwise would just be rotting in jail, and I'm using them.
Yeah.
Like we've reprogrammed them, and I'm now using them to pay off the massive debt to society that they owe. And I agree with that. I think I do. But then Cecil's execution of like But then Cecil's like he's using like the giant lobster thing that he like implanted in
Yeah,
Mark's
yeah.
brain, and I'm like, and then once again I'm like, not maybe morally not the correct thing to do, but also not a bad fucking idea.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like we only feel bad because we like Mark.
Yeah.
Like Cecil's it makes sense.
It makes sense.
And it's like, it's tough though, because you have to, in order to side with Cecil, you also have to side with the idea of like government control. Mm-hmm. And like typically governments are typically bad.
Fair. And honest, but also people are typically bad.
Well, exactly.
Right?
So yeah, it's like you can't be like you either have to put your trust in the idea of like a government or the idea that Mark's never gonna fly off the handle ever.
And meanwhile, Mark is ripping multiples.
Yeah.
The beginning of the beginning of the season is Mark taking one multiple's head out of his body and using that skull to crush another multiple's head. And I'm like, if I saw somebody do that, I'd hedge my chances.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when his father, I was like, okay, like his father destroys the entirety of Chicago, kills hundreds of thousands of people, uses his own son to crush an entire train full of people. And like, I get it. Mark's not his father, 100%. Like Mark was raised by a loving mother and all that, but like, he's gonna live hundreds of years. You have to set up chances where like something that could change.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's
why Batman has a contingency plan for every single one of the members of the League of Justice.
Yeah, a contingency is definitely a good call in terms of all these people. It's interesting. So the comic makes Cecil a lot more ambiguous. Mm-hmm. Like in this, he's so clearly a good dude.
Yeah.
Like he just like comes to your house, kicks off his shoes, and he's like, "You got any scotch? Let's chat." You know, like he's a guy you can unwind with.
Yeah.
And that's kind of maybe one of my like criticisms with the show. Like in the comic, there is, especially with the Reanimen like introduction, it's easier to side with Mark because Cecil is a lot less trustworthy.
Gotcha.
And he has less of a rapport with Deb in the comic, where it is very much like, it's like, oh yeah, he's seen her every now and then, but like, he's a lot shadier, and there's a lot more of like a scumbagness to him.
Gotcha. I think that it's better that it's not clear. I think that inherently lends to better content. Like I think a conversation like being built around a fictional universe where like it's a moral conflict where I can be like, listen, Mark is a kid who's never done any he's never done anything to really prove to Cecil that like, hey, he's ever going to go off the handle and do anything like his father did. But at the same time, with that trauma and the fact that Cecil fully acknowledged the fact that there's fucking nothing that they could do if he wanted to destroy the entire planet, like he has to hedge his bets a little bit. Yeah. And so I understand like where like Cecil's coming from right in that moment where like Mark's like, you're not doing this. Like he is making threats.
Yeah.
He's 100% making threats. He's like, we're not working with, what's his, Darkwing?
Yeah, Darkwing.
Darkwing, he's like, we're not working with the guy who makes the Reanimen. You're like destroying all the Reanimen right now. And it's like Cecil's not in a position right there to say no. Yeah.
It's an interesting discussion too of like, because I agree with you and I'm big like for reform. Mm-hmm. Reform's so tough and it's such a hard pitch because it's like, oh, why waste a life and why waste genius?
Why waste
like,
genius?
Yeah, like Sinclair, who can like make these Reanimen and like help the government and like help when all of the heroes have their backs against the wall. Like Cecil saved everybody from Doc
single
Seismic.
American hero, yeah.
But then you have a great scene where Mark goes and talks to, I think Will's the friend. I don't know who Will's boyfriend's name is.
I don't remember.
Rick, yeah, he goes and huge.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I do best. Remember names.
Huge ally.
Yeah.
Where he goes and talks to Rick.
They're gay.
They're gay. They're dating.
Oh, no.
they're okay. Oh no. I mean, his name is Jared.
James.
But he goes and talks to Rick, and Rick is like, you know, it weighs a lot on him that he's like,
he can walk around. Like,
he's like, he just gets to do whatever he wants. And you see that scene, you're like, yeah, I guess that is unfair to Rick.
Put him in a room and just make him make Reanimen.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, it's like, that's it.
It's like you can't have reform if you also believe in punishment. You know what I mean? Like they're polar opposites.
Uh-huh.
Kind of.
Not really though.
No.
Because all right, here's the thing. Like when the CC or whatever his name is, I don't
Cecil?
Sinclair.
Sinclair,
When
yeah.
Sinclair was like making Reanimen for himself, right? He was like exploring, like he was like abducting people. He was like making them for his own purpose. Like he was like trying to pursue his science kind of thing. And while he does get to do that in a facet, like it is under the thumb of the government being like, you're doing this to make up for the shit, and we control your Reanimen. And now I think if you wanted to make an argument against that, it's like, oh, Cecil tells the Reanimen to stop attacking and they don't.
Yeah.
Like they see one, like Mark's ripping him apart and like he can't stop them.
Yeah.
And like you could be like, oh, like Cecil still has not
Cecil Sinclair.
Sinclair still has control of the Reanimen, and so like therefore like in a sense he's still pursuing the scientific endeavors that he would like. But like to me, like you can absolutely have reform and punishment at the same time. It's like you're working for us. You're not leaving. Like don't have them walk around. Don't be like, hey, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
9 a.m. Like fuck
Right,
no. You sleep in your cage.
Yeah.
But like you're doing the thing for us. Yeah. And like Darkwing is another interesting. I don't remember the Darkwing.
I also don't remember.
I don't remember the Darkwing
killed somebody. I guess. I don't remember.
I think his dad died. Omni-Man killed his dad.
It happened in season 2, and then, and he was killing people. I don't remember.
He made a whole city like Night City,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he was killing people in the Night City or something. I don't remember.
I don't know.
But like it's like that is I don't know. Like it's so interesting to me, Rex. The Darkwing thing is like, oh, he's out. He's like actually out and about.
Yeah.
Like he's actually just like running around. It's like that could be a legitimate. Like they'll be like, hey, I don't fuck with that. But if you're just making a dude print out Reanimen in the basement of the GDA,
well, but the thing
that's
is,
reform.
That guy likes science.
Fair.
So the idea is that it's like, that'd be like if the government's like, hey, you killed a guy, you stream for us now. You know, like you make Naruto vids for us.
Okay.
It's like I guess the quandary is like he ruined Rick's life and Rick probably has night terrors, he has trauma.
Yeah.
And in Rick's mind, he's like, why does that guy ever get to be happy again? So it's tough.
But he's just printing out Reanimen. Like that's my thing. It's like,
but he gets to do science, the thing he likes to do.
But it's like it's just running the same experiment every day.
I mean, I'm down for reform. I like it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, that's where it's a tough sell for the public.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about. Like that's what's really cool about the season is the fact that like you're like, oh, it could really go either way.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like all the American heroes are alive because of what Cecil did. And the fact like another thing was like, oh, Cecil goes to prison and there's like 4 murders a week in this prison. And then Cecil goes, spends 3 years there. The entire prison thing is like reformed. He's running it like it's like, like
it's like the kingpin.
Exactly. And so, like, that's another good look at, like, oh, because they didn't give up on Cecil, he was able to reform this. To me, like, that thing is like, there's pros and cons to each side, which is why I find this season the most compelling Invincible I've ever watched.
Well, he also tries to do that with Mark, too, where Mark is like, or he reasons that with Mark, where he's like, you killed Angstrom Levy, should I lock you up? You know, he's like, put yourself in the shoes of other people who have made mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, too? All that backstory stuff with Cecil, like anime only.
Really?
Yeah, it's not
him
super
losing
not
his
in the
skin and all
comic.
that?
Yeah, not in the comic.
That's crazy.
I also, my only note that I wrote down, do you think they stole that from Carry On?
What?
Because that's the end of Carry
the
On.
fucking skin-eating bomb? Oh, dude, they must have, because they were like, none of people saw, more people will see Invincible than Carry On. And they're like, fucking, this is our thing now. Everyone's like, oh, the Invincible bomb. That's Carry On.
That's so
Taron
funny.
Egerton, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, because he was holding it close, too.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Underrated masterpiece. I think we're gonna talk about Carry On 10 years from now. It's like one of the greater like slept on action movies of all time.
Every 100 episodes, let's talk about Carry On.
I'll do it every 10. I don't give a shit. I love that movie. I love that goddamn movie.
Yeah. Do you have any? I like the backstory stuff a lot for being like new content. Do you have any like hot takes or anything?
I mean, unfortunately, I like most of my hot takes are like. Yeah, I'll just give you some notes here.
Yeah.
The first episode, they're like stealing the Declaration of Independence. I'm sure that'll pay off eventually. But my first note, and I appreciated this from myself, I thought this was funny. I said, this looks more like Con Air Nick Cage, not National Treasure Nick Cage. Because they had long hair.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, they're from the future on
Yeah, well done.
What's up with them?
That's another one where it's like you kind of got to endure Invincible doing some nonsense for a bit for it to pay off later.
Yeah, they're just talking like, oh, it's the future and all that. And I saw a bunch of people on TikTok being like, oh, everyone's about to understand why the suit guy gets his own show or his own spinoff. There's like some guy who's like the Blue Beetle of this universe. I don't know.
Oh, I want to say Tech Knight, but that's
Quip or some shit like that. Tech Knight is...
Tech Knight's the boys.
Tech Knight
And a
is-
bad guy.
Yes, yeah. Mhm. Oh, I was thinking Tech 9, the rapper.
Tech 9, baby. He did the song Harvey Dent.
That makes sense that you would know The Eminem to Tech 9 fucking streamline.
Pipeline.
Yeah, the pipeline needs to be like, it was like that Cyclone. It was basically like, oh, who can rap fast?
Tech Jacket.
Tech Jacket. Yeah. Everyone was talking about him. I never saw him. I never saw Tech Jacket.
I don't remember how he shows up.
I think he'll probably be in this season.
The future guys do come back for sure.
Okay.
In this season.
The future fucking beautiful Tarzan looking man.
Yeah. I really liked Invincible being like, or I liked, what's his name? Rex
Sloan.
being like, I already took my guy down, like, hurry up. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just a guy. I don't really want to go too hard.
I don't want to kill this dude.
Yeah,
Still
then-
gets away with the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, like, gets a punch. He's like, yeah, see, just like a normal guy.
Yeah, like, flings him too. Absolutely launches the dude. Not a normal guy. Like breaks concrete with his body and survives.
Yeah, well, you know, cartoon normal guy.
Yeah, like we would have been destroyed. And then I wrote, thank God Kate and Paul were named that.
Yeah.
Duplicate, multi-Paul.
Yeah, it really worked out.
What other name works for that? Duplicate, multi-Paul. I think like you'd have to be like osmosis.
Nick Dishon.
Nick Dishon? That's bad. Damplicate? Dan.
I don't want to damplicate anything.
Damplicate sounds like a
Yeah,
legal proceeding.
yeah,
I know that sounds bad. I think like you could do like mitosis, but you got to like mycotosis or something.
Mycotosis.
Mitosis is up there.
That's funny. That sounds like halitosis though, which I don't care for.
I mean, I don't care for duplicate or multiple.
Yeah, well, that's fair. Yeah.
Manny? What?
Like Manny?
Manny. Oh, Manny. would
Manny
be-
Manny?
Manny. Some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I was like, they go. Either they were born with that ability, and their parents were like, oh god, there's 6 of them.
Like Adamission?
Oh,
Addition?
Aiden. What word are you looking for?
Like just
Just
something with
addition.
an ad in it.
Aladdin. That's Aladdin is not bad.
Yeah, I guess. Aladdin.
I like Aladdin. You're adding.
Yeah, you're adding.
That's fucking great. But yeah, no, thank God they were given that name.
Sue Traction?
Well, that would like if there was
you're
less. of you.
Sue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you were like had the ability.
Yeah,
to make,
true. What does she even do?
Like, ow! I'm half. This is a bad ability. Still bullies Deku.
Yeah.
And then I said, does this kid, so I said, was that girl's power green bubbles? There was a hero. A bunch of the American heroes they showed in the Doc Seismic episode, they were just using nonsense abilities. It was just the girl just started shooting green bubbles out of her hand that did nothing.
Yeah, that's kind of the bit with Invincible is that Robert Kirkman, who like wrote Invincible and also The Walking Dead, same guy.
Crazy.
Yeah, big track record. He, like, Invincible is a universe, like it's a comic universe.
Yeah.
Made exclusively by Robert Kirkman. So, like, that'd be like if you were like, oh, I came with a great idea. It's Spider-Man. He's like a superhero who like swings around and does this and that.
Yeah.
But I want him in a world that is already an established universe.
Gotcha.
So you gotta now come up with like 40 random ass like ulterior guys. I guess that's just My Hero.
Kind of, yeah.
So this is like My Hero, where the dude had to make a superhero Invincible.
Yeah.
And then it was like, shit, I need like 60 years of established superhero
there needs to be
stuff.
a reason that no one's being weird about him flying.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of them are just like, it's Balloon Man. Like,
Yeah, classic. Ow! My hand is growing.
yeah, my hand's a balloon.
Don't fucking pop it.
Don't fucking pop it.
I guess my only thing would be like, my favorite note here is imagine dating after bagging Superman. Deb's out
For
on
Amber?
Yeah, Deb's out on a
Deb,
date.
you're right, you're right.
I guess also Amber.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like imagine you're just dating a dude. Like
Yeah.
after he's like, yeah, I can't fly you to like
Yeah.
Venice or something
I
like that.
can't get Italian pizza. Like, yeah.
Dorothy? If we were on like our and we had like just fucked and I was like, was that good? She was like, not as good as the time I did it on the moon. I'd be like, you know what? Like the way the guy was, it was like the guy was on a date with Deb and finds out she dated on the just leaves.
Yeah.
Exactly what I would have done.
Incredible call. It's funny because I'd be like fair, but I'd also absolutely fly off of the handle.
Yeah.
like the way if she was like, yeah, this was a nice day. I mean, obviously it's the time I was on the moon. Yeah. Obviously it's not. How am I supposed to do that?
Like, it's like, hey Deb, yep. I'm not a Viltrumite.
Hey Deb, just don't say anything. Yeah, if obviously comes before it, shut up.
Hey Deb, I'm punching down, okay? Yeah. All right? Omni-Man was punching way down.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, that would be a
Hey, Deb, I make 6 figures.
Did he get paid, Deb? Oh, yeah, and then I also wrote Steven Yeun is a very underrated VA. So good.
Yeah, crushing it this season.
So,
really
probably his best season as Mark.
Yeah.
Like his delivery to Cecil was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the beginning of episode 3? The gay supervillain story about the horrors of capitalism.
I thought that was a big swing and a miss.
Oh, I'm sorry. The silent film story about the gay supervillains in the horrors of capitalism.
I thought that was a swing and a miss. I get like what they wanted to do, and I like the idea of like, taking these characters that are like silly, random, like D tier villains that he just wipes up like nothing.
Hardly. I mean, one of them was Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, well, that's true.
One was Johnny Blaze, but he can turn himself into a giant.
Yeah, but these random villains that like Invincible wipes like it's nothing on the regular, and then giving them this intro where you like humanize them and you make it really dramatic, and you're like, oh, like it's part of the themes that like, oh, people don't just do crime. Like it's usually a systemic thing. And we're trying to humanize them. But it was just the most generic and like kind of comical version of that. Like it almost felt half-assed.
Yeah.
Especially because they're constantly just wearing their goofy goon outfits in every scenario.
Also look exactly the same. Like they were just like both like mid-40s, like bald white dude. I don't know. It was weird. It was all weird.
They keep showing up to different interviews and stuff in the same like wife beater jeans, like beanie fit. Yeah. And then they're eating beans for dinner,
splitting of beans down the middle. It's like, oh, you might as well give them a little stick and a bandana and just be like, Jade.
It's just like beans for dinner is the most like this writer's never been poor like thing to me, because pasta's the same price. Yeah. At least typically. I haven't like compared the two recently.
I had a roommate in college who ate beans. Like had money, but was like, do you guys know the macros on beans?
Yeah.
You guys, like, I get these and would just eat beans because he didn't like food that much.
Yeah.
So he would just eat beans because he's like, this is cheap and it keeps me alive. And I was like, that's insane.
You can do like rice and mixed veggies, like frozen mixed veggies. You can do ramen and broth.
You can do rice, chicken, and mixed veggies for like $2 a serving.
I don't know about chicken.
Absolutely.
Where are you getting a $2 chicken?
You can get like 4 pounds of chicken breast for like $10.
Oh, and then if you like
meal prep.
Set it for the week. Yeah. But that's my thing. Whenever they're doing beans for dinner, I'm like, honestly, a box of pasta tastes better and is the same price.
Yeah, it delivers like basically all the same like macros that you would possibly need.
But yeah, it is like Hobo Joe, like from the 60s kind of vibe.
It being silent was also...
It would have been fine if it was like a better song. Like it just felt like I saw what they wanted to do, and it's like they wanted to do like episode 3 of The Last of Us, where they're like, let's show
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted,
yeah. they keep finding us. It's like, your guitar is so loud.
where they're like, I've never known love like you.
And then they just like full penetration.
But like, not just that they turn these two characters that weren't gay in the comic gay, but in terms of it's like, oh, we're gonna like give them a human like short story and make you really feel for their plight. But it just didn't.
And the resolution to that story is that Mark puts them in prison?
Well, that's the bit, is that you're supposed to be like, oh man, like they really tried to get a job, and the best they can do, like everything's working against them. They had to resort to crime. Isn't it a shame? Isn't it a tragedy that Mark then just like blindly is like, oh, you guys did a bad, into prison. It's like the reform themes, where it's like, you shouldn't just lock someone up because they're on hard times. Like,
but the thing is, that's such a, like, to me, right? That's kind of like the like with MHA when they were like, oh, by the way, everyone's racist heteromorphs. Don't worry, we figured it out. Like, I know you're worried that a chapter ago we introduced that there's a systemic racism problem against heteromorphs, but guys, don't worry. Shoji's got it. And like, so it's like, if you're going to do like by the way, the villains aren't the bad guys because the system is the bad guy, don't compile it down to a 7-minute part of an episode and then breeze past it.
Well, it ties to the Sinclair themes. Like, it's all in the theme of Mark may or may not learning to, like, respect criminals. You know? Because, like, it's like, right, like, D.A. Sinclair, Mark just shows up, sees he's doing bad, tosses him in jail, finds out he's like doing other things, and he's like, that guy should be rotting in a cell.
Yeah.
Same with this. These guys are robbing a bank. He shows up, beats him up, throws him in jail, and he's like, all right, I'm done thinking about them.
Yeah.
So it's like...
But that's a message for us, not Mark. That's the thing. Like, maybe
we'll see.
It plays out later.
We'll see.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Invincible. There's always 7 lines in the water. So like, I was also not like crazy about it. I do also understand what they were trying to do there.
No, I think it was a swing and a miss though. Like, it didn't make me feel anything new, and it was kind of comical because it felt generic and like played out before.
Yeah.
Like, their specific kind of, there's no like added nuance that I hadn't seen somewhere else.
Like, and to compare it to like episode 3 of The Last of Us, like that was like a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Like, I think about that episode once a week.
Yeah.
Like, it was like so genuinely wildly impressive, so well acted. And that was the thing. It's like, by making this silent picture, you're also stripping a lot of the humanity from it, right? Because I don't know what they sound like. I don't know, I don't know the conversations they're having. I can see what they're going through. But
They're trying to do Up, you know?
Oh.
The opening of Up, which is silent.
I've never seen Up.
Wow.
Oh, I want to. The house floats. The house floats. Cool. Good movie. Sick. I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
Wow.
Fuck you, old guy.
Wow.
Oh, I gotta see an old guy on screen.
All right, discussion over.
Yeah, dude.
What is this DEI shit?
Yeah,
old people in movies.
I fucking make them 25. Make him 25, then I'll watch.
Make it Tom Holland.
Yeah, make it Tom Holland. In the live action Up.
Yeah, it's Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, the worst wig you've ever seen.
They're both 25, the old man and the kid.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, so far, we are yet to get like a banger track. Because season 1 and 2 both added songs to my rotation. I got that one Cage of the Elephant song from season 1, and then I got Karma Police by Radiohead in season 2.
Interesting. This is not something I've noticed at all. I definitely I was more focused on the music during the silent aspects, and it just felt like garage band string music 7.
Yeah. They usually just have like a really good alternative rock soundtrack, and this so far I haven't hit one.
Interesting. Very interesting. I wonder if they put all their money into like writing.
I want to give one more hot take. Oh, what do you think of the new costume? Blue.
No.
Wow.
It's too Nightwing coded. I don't know. Like, there's something about like you don't see a lot of heroes with yellow, right? Like the only people like in comics I can think of with yellow is like there's Sentry. He's on the brain because he just got introduced as the villain of the new Black Widow movie. So there's Sentry, Booster Gold.
You're making so many little microaggressions, and I'm just like ready for the comments. Like, Sentries. Black Widow's not in the movie; she's dead. So it's Thunderbolts.
It's the Black Widow verse.
I'm just saying.
Okay. The
Gold,
Black Widower is gonna get on me here?
I just see you being like, yeah, I love Marvel, Spider-Boy, Batman, like Mega Man.
Yeah, we got Shazam. Booster Gold. Yeah, but like you just don't see yellow. Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I guess there isn't a lot of yellow.
There's not a lot of yellow.
Yeah.
So I like
all of the X-Men.
But they never
never
wear their suits.
Yeah.
When was the last time they all were just rocking big old blue and yellow?
Yeah.
Never
in live action.
I don't read comics. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't give a shit.
The TikTok editors are gonna fucking get you crucified.
Yeah, they are, baby. I like that we both live in fear of the people that we pay and employ. The way I could also be like, hey, no.
Stop it.
And then Stank watches these and is like, fucking to the wolves it goes, I guess.
I love the blue costume. They butchered the reveal though.
Why?
Because they really just, it's like, check out this new costume. And then like no music, just like a slow pan up. And he's like, it's all right.
He's like, it's a little serious, right? Yeah.
There's like no fanfare at all. And I'm like, this is a great costume in the comics. And it also, him being like, it's a little serious, is foreshadowing that we're entering like the darkest arc, arguably.
Gotcha.
And it's just, they just were like, we did it. We did the suit. Here it is.
Yeah, and then they call him Invincible Is. Apparently, we're heading into the darkest arc. I want to talk about Oliver's costume.
Yep.
Just Robin.
Kid Omni-Man.
Just Robin.
Yeah.
That's just fucking the most. How do you feel about Oliver?
I like him.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I know where he ends up. So like,
Gotcha.
I know all of.
Yeah, I know you do.
I know Oliver.
This is how this. Wow.
Thanks.
That should be his name right there. Oliver. Man, I don't like how you said that. I don't like how you said you know where he ends up. I feel like it's pieces in multiple pieces.
To retort, the comic's over, so I know where everyone ends up.
I know you do. I know the comic's over. I know you've read it all, but I just don't.
Well, I just mean where they end up is like applicable to everybody because it ends. You know.
Anyways, yeah, no, I feel very uncomfortable with Oliver currently. I think he needs a little thing in his ear. Like, I think that's like the entire thing. With like Oliver lives as a living testament to the fact that Mark is being kind of crazy about
that Mark needs a thing in his ear.
Mark needs a thing in his ear because he just fucking mauls the Mauler twins. Yeah. He fucking little Mike's with those second Mauler twins head off. They're gone? Are they gone?
Big Mac.
Little Mac.
Or Little Mac.
What did I say?
He said little. He said Big Mike.
I don't fucking know, dog. I have so much anime up here. I don't know the other superfluous shit.
But, okay, this is interesting. How did you feel about that scene with Oliver and the Mauler twins? Like, was that impactful? Was that shocking that he killed them?
It was shocking, but like at the same time, I was like, I could kind of see it. Like, I don't know, it's weird, right? Because he's Omni-Man's son, but like he was stripped from Omni-Man when he was an infant. Like Omni-Man had no say in Oliver's life, like how he feels and anything. Like he loves Omni-Man, but he doesn't necessarily understand all of Omni-Man. So like it's a weird spot like that he has so many Omni-Man-isms, you know?
Well, I like his age helps because I really like when Mark's talking about like Cecil and stuff. And he was like, I told him if he ever hurt you guys, I would kill him. And then Oliver's like, why didn't you kill him then?
Yeah.
And then everyone is like, we don't kill. And he's like, all right. And they're like, no, we have to like settle this right now. Like this family doesn't kill. And that was a really like realistic, like, have you ever like been a kid and you're like trying to chime in with the adults and you say some shit you probably shouldn't, and they're like, we need to make sure you don't actually think
we
this.
need to make sure
like,
you have empathy just really quickly here. Let's go ahead and like, how does this make you know? But at the same time, like I don't like you can't be upset with Oliver because like one, he's like 7 days old. He's two half alien races. He's half bug, half Viltrumite. And he's growing faster than anybody in his entire life could ever possibly understand. Deb's trying to give him a normal childhood. He wants to be a hero because he sees his brother go out and be a hero. He understands he's as powerful as his brother. He's already flying faster than Mark can possibly keep up with. And I was like, and then, because here's the thing, Mark is being a hypocrite. Like Mark's like, oh, we don't kill. Well, he's saying, I will kill Cecil. And then like, and then he's like, oh, you killed Angstrom Levy. And he was like, that was a mistake. And it's like, cool. Like, how can you expect this kid to parse out the difference between like, oh, you made a mistake and this was intentional? Like there was a guy trying to hurt you. You killed him. Like you made sure he never did bad again. He did the same thing to the Mauler twins. And so it's like, everyone is like, the only person with any real leg to stand on here is Deb. Yeah. Like, because like Deb hasn't killed anybody. Yeah. But like Mark's out there ripping Multipols in half. Yeah. And I get it. You're not gonna finish Multipol because you kill a couple of his clones, but like death is happening around Mark and therefore happening around Oliver. So like him coming to the conclusion that like, oh, we gotta get rid of these bad guys. Not crazy.
Yeah. I have a big gripe with this show, and I think they're kind of botching some moments, and it's because of what you're saying. So in the comic, and I will need to like double verify this, but like in the comic, from the best of my memory, it doesn't get super violent. Like, the comic kind of tricks you between issues 1 and 11 into thinking it's rated PG.
Yeah.
Like, there's no swearing, there's no, like, blood. And then Omni-Man in issue 11 kills the Guardians of the Globe.
Gotcha.
And it's really gory.
Yeah.
And the big, like, twist is that you're like, oh shit, there's, like, blood in this.
Yeah.
And then...
when he pops Darkwing or Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. Darkwing's head open or
Yeah.
something.
And then, like, it progresses, and there's still not that much blood because Invincible is, like, legitimately invincible. In the show, Mark loses a lot of fights, and in the comic, it takes a long time before he reaches someone who's, like, an actual opponent.
Yeah. Mark spends more time in the show with like a butthole eye than not. Something we talked about the last time, like when season 2 came out, we're like, Mark is in a perpetual state of butthole eye.
Well, that's the thing is that like Mark doesn't face someone who's actually a match for him until he fights Omni-Man.
Yeah.
And that makes Omni-Man feel like such a massive threat, and that fight feels so impactful. And this show has too much violence and too much swearing to the point where it ruins some really big moments. Because up until like where we are now in the show, there hasn't been like insane excessive gore except when villains do it.
Yeah.
Like Mark doesn't. There's a bit in like episode 2 where Mark like punches through a Reaniman, grabs his intestine, and then swings him at another guy.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't do that shit. Like in this, it's all like old Batman, like bops, pows.
Yeah.
But the villains, like Viltrumite show up, they beat the shit out of Alan, which we saw, the alien. They like pop his eye out. And so like insane graphic violence was reserved for the villains. So then we get to this bit and Mark's going to stop the missile. Oliver's like back with the Maulers and you're like, all right, he's going to take him down. And he fucking pastes him.
Yeah.
And his like fist goes like through his head and you're like, holy shit, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But since like every episode we see Mark do like 11 Mortal Kombat fatalities.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you, like, was it shocking? Because we got to it and I was like, everyone's like, we don't kill. And I'm like, yeah, you do.
You simply do.
You kill so many things.
Yeah, the Reanimen are reanimated men, and we are ripping them asunder.
Yeah, he does too much, like, Mortal Kombat shit. And I think it's because Amazon didn't want to, like... They were nervous that, like, setting the pacing that slow wouldn't, like, grab people fast enough. But, like, I would have loved if season 1 was, like, not that violent, like, not a lot of swears, and then at the end of episode 1... he fucking annihilates the Guardians of the Globes, and you're like, holy shit, that's crazy. Yeah. But, like, it's crazy gory from, like, the opening scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that, like, I don't think the Oliver moment was as strong as it could have been and was in the comic because of that.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Is like I'm just like I don't know. I'm of two minds about the whole Oliver stuff because like one, he's a child, so you can't be like, oh look, oh I can't believe this child is misunderstanding like the intentions or like the purpose of his power. But at the same time, he makes me very nervous, and I think it's a very cool juxtaposition between Mark and Oliver, and like Mark being like, well, I have this fully formed brain, and I like that's the biggest difference for me, and this is why I've talked about this multiple times. Like I'm so happy I got any version of clout when my brain was fully formed, so I could like be a human. Like, and not let any of it make me an insane person who, like, live streams me crashing my McLarens and shit.
Right.
And so, like, that's the difference between the two of them. Is like, and this, like, a thing talked about time and time again, where Oliver is unlocking these powers at, like, biologically 10 years old, and Mark was, like, 17, 18, right? And those are very, very different brains. And so, like, everyone trying to explain to Oliver, who is now stronger than his mother by a fucking landslide, that he needs to be careful with his powers, and when she's, in his eyes, technically a normal, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's a really cool. I do think it would have been cooler if like that was the first real time we saw like actual violence or like Mark like that's things like Mark juicing Angstrom Levy doesn't necessarily deliver as hard as you'd like because you're like, oh, he's just punching him like it does everybody else.
Yeah, like he punches every other person. There's also the swearing's fine, but it's interesting to me because in the comic, the comic's like 144 issues.
Yeah.
And nobody says fuck until like 112, I think. Like, there's a crazy thing that happens, and the last page of the comic is Mark, like, covered in blood on his knees, like, after it happened, and he goes, holy fuck. And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that, it misses those punches, which is unfortunate because Invincible's so cool because you see Mark age. Like, he's in high school in season 1. Now he's like 19 or 20.
He's
Yeah.
not in college anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, now he's like college age. And by the end of the comic, he's like in his 30s.
Yeah.
And so it's like it getting more graphic adds to that theme of like growing and maturing. So.
Oh, and my final note is, my God, is there any bigger hater in existence than Eve's parents?
Yeah.
Is her dad like genuinely the least pleasant person in fiction?
Yeah, her dad's like comically fucking horrible.
Like I simply do not understand it.
Yeah.
It is insane. I cannot, like, the hater level it's 50 Cent level. It's very impressive.
Let me see. Hold on.
Are you gonna look up worst people in fiction?
I'm looking up Mark and Eve's dad because there's like, yeah, here it is.
Mark and Eve's dad? What do you mean?
What are you talking about? Eve's dad.
Eve's dad. You said Mark and Eve.
Mark talking to Eve's dad.
Oh, Mark talking to Eve's dad. Gotcha.
There's a bit from the comic where, let me see, where Mark has like an interaction with Eve's dad. And the dad goes, I wanted to thank you. I know that my little angel is no angel. I caught her one time with that long-haired boy, the one that, can't say that.
What do you mean you can't say that?
You know, she had him living here for a while.
What do you mean you can't say that? Come on, what is it?
Oh, no.
Come on, you got it.
You know, she had him living here for a while? We didn't even know. Anyway, I appreciate you giving her a chance, knowing you're not her first, like, sexual partner. She never really got just how important virginity is to a woman. Men like to feel like they're breaking new ground. They want to be the teachers. They want to be in charge. Hard to do that if there's no corners left unexplored, right? Betsy was a virgin when we got together. You can always tell when you're with a virgin. They just act differently, think differently, less confidence. It's attractive. Don't know if I would have married Betsy had things been different. I didn't like coming in second or third or whatever the case may be. It's good of you to look past my daughter's obvious flaws. Shows character. I respect that. Of course, it's not the end of the world when a woman knows a thing or two, right? So I guess there are positives and negatives. Look how much fucking text is on this page.
Jesus fuck. Send Oliver to kill him.
Yeah, anyway, there's no way that ever makes it into the show. And then this is...
If the end of Invincible isn't him getting horrifically brutalized, it's mid. It's mid.
This is the next panel. That's Mark afterwards.
What does he say?
He's just sitting there, like, fucking flabbergasted.
Gotcha.
And then Eve's like, I told you it would be horrible. What was my dad saying to you there? You guys talked forever. And then Mark just goes, nothing important.
Holy fucking shit. Kill that guy. All right. Outside of that, that's all I got for the first 3 episodes of Invincible. You want to talk best boys?
Yeah.
Who's your best boy this week?
I watched Common Side Effects, which is the HBO animated show about this guy who finds like this mushroom that can like cure all disease. It like raises the dead, and he's like finds it in Peru, and the government's like on his ass, and Big Pharma's on his ass, and it's just this like anti-healthcare, anti-Big Pharma kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's animated like Meat Canyon.
Yeah, it looks very uncomfortable.
And it's like not a comedy. It's like funny. There's like funny bits, but it's like as much of a comedy as like The Big Short. Have you seen that?
No.
That's like about the stock market crashing. But like, it's like so clearly like an actual political drama. And it's like really good. It's really interesting.
What a weird choice. I don't know. If you have like a legitimate story, the Adult Swim animation style makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like there was the Hawkman show, made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Squidbillies.
Squidbillies, Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
All of those shows, the second they came on, I got like physically scary.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that might have been intentional because I wasn't supposed to be watching them. So they're like only adults baked off their ass can watch this. But as a kid, I was like, oh, this like scares me. And to this day, I still kind of had that fear response. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh, fear response.
No, I know exactly what you mean. But it's weirdly good. I recommend you checking it out. It comes out every Sunday. There's only 2 episodes out right now, but it is like, I think you'd like it. It's like there's action, which is weird, and like it is funny enough. The guy who made King of the Hill like produced it, and he like voices a character in it. So there's a character who vaguely sounds like Hank Hill.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I gotta sell you
yeah,
mushroom and all related mushroom.
You expect me to know what a dang Akatsuki is?
I just wanna know how to print a goddamn hot dog. All right, My Best Boy.
Yep.
Licorice Recoil.
Let's go. You watched it?
8 episodes into Licorice Recoil. I'm kind of conflicted as to whether or not you would like it.
I saw the first episode. It's pretty. It's
Because
girls
it
as
is-
assassins.
It is a cute girls do cute things anime.
Yeah.
Also known as CGDCT, which I didn't know was a genre. Fully a genre. I was on my anime list the other day, and it was like on the genre. It was like that. It was like cute girls do. It was like CD.
Yeah.
Whatever.
CG'd CD.
CG.
Doing cute. CGDCT.
That's it. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, oh, cute girls do cute
I don't know
things.
if I'd classify killing people as cute things.
Well, that's the thing. They don't kill.
What are you talking about?
They don't kill.
What's it about?
It's about a group of high school aged girls who are, I don't even know if they are high school aged girls. They really breeze past that because they went to a bar in this last episode, but they're like, oh, like high school girl outfits are the urban camo of Japan because no one ever looks twice at a girl who's wearing a high school outfit.
Yeah, sure. Nobody's ever looking at cute, well-dressed girls.
Yep, no, especially not in fucking Japan.
Yeah, no one's ever staring at those.
And so the story revolves around a girl by the name of, oh my God, Chisako. And it's like all about this girl named Chisako who used to work for like the DA is like the department or whatever of like defense in Japan is what runs the licorice program. She leaves because like she defends some tower from like a bunch of terrorists, but basically her entire thing is like she doesn't kill. And so she's got like these like non-lethal bullets, but they're super inaccurate. So she has a superpower that allows her to dodge bullets. Like she like her eyes are so sensitive she's able to dodge bullets. So she has to get really close to people with her like inaccurate gun, knocks them out kind of thing. She gets this other girl who is like kind of like a brutalist. She's like a ridiculously good shot, but she's always like literally just like headshotting terrorists, just killing these people. And so it's like the two of them hanging out, trying to figure out what's going on with this thing called the Allen Institute. It's cool. I don't think it's worth the hype we've gotten thrown at us over the last couple of years. It's a 7.9.
Gotcha.
Maybe an 8.
I remember it being pretty,
It's
well animated.
really fucking
yeah.
pretty. It's really pretty. It's well voiced in both English and Japanese. The characters are fun, but it's your stand. It's like Bocchi the Rock with guns.
I think that fixed Bocchi the Rock for me, to be honest.
And that's why I don't know if you would like it, because it is a cute girls do cute thing anime.
Yeah.
You didn't like Bocchi the Rock, which is kind of like the epitome of that.
Yeah.
But also now they have guns and the fights go kind of fucking crazy.
That's hype.
Yeah. So it's good. It's fun. It's really good for an original anime. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's probably the best original anime I've ever watched.
Interesting.
I'm not like itching. It hasn't filled my Owl House hole. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Like the reason that I'm looking for shows to watch right now is because of the lack of the Owl House. It has not filled my Owl House.
Dude, watch Skate the Infinity. You'll like it. It's borderline a shonen. Like, it's not a BL slice of life.
Okay.
It's BL.
Okay. It's BL.
But it's skateboarding.
Boys love skateboarding.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. It's skateboarding. It's so fucking sick. It's well animated. There's twists and turns. There's a crazy villain.
Okay.
Like a really memorable fucked villain.
Okay.
And they all skateboard.
Why do I feel like he's voiced by the guy who does Hisoka?
Because he's got the same personality.
Okay, good.
And actually, yeah, he is voiced by
The guy who does Hisoka. He's so typecast.
Yeah.
I love it, but he's so fucking good at what he does.
At least in English. But yeah, he is like coming for boys.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, he is. So I'm probably gonna finish it because, like I said, I'm enjoying it. Like it's a fun watch. But I'm not like, oh my god, I need to watch more right now.
Yeah.
And my flashback is there is a Pokemon movie coming out by the people who made Your Name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Partially.
What do you mean?
It's dropping on YouTube, so we don't know if it's going to be like a short, a movie, a show. But yeah, the studio behind Your Name, not the like guy who wrote it.
Not like the mangaka.
Yeah, the animation studio is making a Pokemon movie about, it's like Kiki's Delivery Service with a Dragonair.
Yeah.
Because in Pokemon, Dragonairs like deliver parcels.
And then they introduced Delibird.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool. Now we're redundant.
Yeah, and then I want a scene in this movie where all the Dragonairs are in a bar, like smoking up a storm. They're like, these fucking birds.
It's got a fucking pouch built into it. How am I supposed to compete?
They're taking our fucking jobs.
Yeah, I just like, a Delibird walks into the bar and they just fucking
Like,
get him.
we don't like, there's just like a fucking, like, a jinx at the bar, like, wiping out. It's like, we don't take kindly to your folk.
Yeah, you red birds.
But,
God, I love Delibird.
do you?
I love Delibird. I don't know why. I just love Delibird as a Pokemon.
It's just Santa.
It's just Santa.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool. Pokemon's been interesting because in like the Emerald, Sapphire, Ruby days, their marketing strategy was to target little boys. And they were like, we're going to target teenage to like younger boys. We're going to make cool ass Pokemon. Like a lot of the Pokemon in that era are like shonen ass, boy ass Pokemon.
Yeah.
You got fucking all three of the starters are like boy ass Pokemon. Usually all the starters will have like one girl type Pokemon.
No, hold up. You have introduced an entire topic we now have to break down.
Okay.
We have to identify what the girl starter is in every single series of Pokemon.
Listen, it's not always, because Gen 1, no girl type. Gen 2, a girl type.
You don't think Gen 1 has a girl type? It's not Charmander. I'll tell you that right now.
It's not Blastoise.
Oh, we're talking their final evolution?
Any of them.
That's fair. They
You
all
think
do turn into...
Bulbasaur is a girl?
I mean, did you see the cool Bulbasaur episode?
What does that mean?
When all the Bulbasaurs are wearing the sunglasses?
You're talking about Squirtle.
Oh, you're right.
That's so fun. What a weird alternate reality that you like.
I created a cool Bulbasaur.
Cool
yeah, you're right.
Bulbasaur.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah, that's Squirtle.
It's a tumor.
Yeah.
It's getting me, dog. I don't know.
They give you the questionnaire and it's like, what are your symptoms? I thought Bulbasaur was cool.
Squirtle. I do think, I don't know. I feel as though Venusaur could be.
He's a big, ugly dinosaur.
With now that we have Big Man Blastoise, that's a man pick. I'm willing to admit it is the least female coded out of all of the starter generation.
Look, Gen 2, Chikorita.
Boy.
Girl!
Chikorita's a girl Pokemon? Well, because Chick is in the name? Is that what you
Chick
want?
is in the name?
That's
and then Bayleaf?
Bayleaf is a girl Pokemon, for sure.
Oh my god, they're all girl Pokemon.
No, they're not. Cyndaquil?
No, I mean fucking all of Chikorita's. Chikorita, Bayleaf, Meganium. That's a girl line.
Yes. That's the girl stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you identifying individual Pokemon as being boy or girl Pokemon? I'm talking lines.
Usually I see where there's confusion.
Yeah.
In each generation, we have 3 starters.
Yes.
One of those starters will be a girl.
Yes.
Coded Pokemon.
Exactly.
And honestly, I'm not even ready to die on that hill.
Well, you should be. That's a good hill to die on.
But regardless, what I was saying.
Totodile, boy Pokemon.
Boy.
Cyndaquil, boy Pokemon.
Chikorita, girl Pokemon. Yeah. Gen 3, Torchic, the one that turns into Swampert, the one that turns into Grovyle.
Yep, okay, yep. So
all boys.
No, Mudkip. Mudkip is...
Mudkip's girl adjacent.
Mudkip's for the gays, low-key.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
yeah,
it. Mudkip's fucking for the gays as hell.
Yeah, I agree.
I love his vibe, dude. I love his vibe so goddamn much.
I do love Mudkip.
He's such a little meepster.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll also say it. Torchic. Another ambiguous pick.
Disagree.
I feel like
Torchic, yes, and then Blaziken, no.
Okay. Wait, no. Blaziken's the third.
Yeah.
Okay. No. I was gonna say
Combuskin
is what, the second or the
Yeah, second.
Okay. Blaziken? With that long flowing but Blaziken kind of looks like Lady Gaga. Look at that. Look at Blaziken right now. Tell me it doesn't kind of look like 2025 Lady Gaga.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa.
Right? I'm telling you, man.
Anyway, look, before I keep digging this grave, because I don't even know if I agree with myself, but I have heard in an interview, there's an interview where in...
Piplup.
Piplu's a girl.
Yeah.
For sure. In that generation, Gen 3, they were like, we want to appeal to more boys. So, like, we're going to do, like, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza. Like, all our shit is, like...
That's so fair. That's my favorite generation of legendaries by fucking far.
That whole gen is, like, catered towards, like, the boy demographic. Right now, Pokemon has shifted hard to college women.
Really?
It's so much Pokemon is like lifestyle stuff. Pokemon Concierge, just cozy lo-fi Pokemon show. This one, it's Kiki's Delivery Service for Pokemon. All of the plushes, like all the plushes are like lifestyle, like kind of plushes.
It's the girlfriend switches is what it is. It's all the girlfriend switches, like a bunch of like because like your girlfriend has a girlfriend switch. And I know so many like girlfriends.
It's all the Animal Crossing fans.
Exactly. All the Animal Crossing girls are like, oh well, I keep seeing this. Like everyone keeps talking about Pokemon. I'm getting into Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's interesting because it's kept it relevant because now adults are like, they're like, oh, I'll buy some Pokemon merch. Like it's chic, it's cute. Like
absolutely.
Whereas if they were like still with like what Digimon's doing, where it's still for teenage boys, it would have probably died a long time ago.
Gen 9.
Gen 9, what gen is that?
The Florgato.
With the gay duck.
The gay duck.
Yep. The gay duck's a gay duck. So I rest my point.
But is that like we're talking? I think
it's a drag queen duck. Regardless, that's not targeting edgy teenage boys.
That's my thing. Is I think this is the most because like Sprigato is also very female coded. Also like a very like gay LGBTQA like female coded.
But
you might have a point here. We might be skewing.
You know what though? Skeledirge is the most like cool boy ass
Pokemon.
Yeah, this was a good trio.
It was a great trio.
Yeah, it's the best.
I also realized that we're just doing a lot of the fire Pokemon are men Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
except there's one Firefox one.
I'll rest my case and I'll say that Torchic is a female Pokemon. That's for the ladies. And then Gen 6 and 7, the two cats. I don't remember them at all. Gen 6 and 7, I skipped.
One cat turns into a big, like, male pro wrestler.
He's in Smash.
Yeah. One, I think Black and White has a starter that's, like, a fox witch. That's, like, very clearly female-coded.
I missed so many generations.
And then, do you remember the most female-coded starter Pokemon? It's, like, a hot seal. It's a hot seal mermaid.
What?
Look up.
In what generation? 5?
I don't find. Look up Poplio evolution. And then tell me this isn't borderline Lopunny levels.
Damn.
Big damn energy.
Oh my god.
Tell me that isn't borderline Lopunny levels of egregious.
Listen, like I said, I'm not like much of like when it comes like when people are like, oh, I'm gonna sexualize this Pokemon.
Card full or dead?
Yeah, it's dead. Whatever. We'll just do the wide from now.
I'm
not like big on like the like sexualize these Pokemon kind of thing, but like Lopunny and this thing. I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. All right. Do you have a flashback?
I have no news.
Cool. All right. That brings us to our favorite segment of the show, Love Letters, where me and Danny pull our live audience and have them ask us a question that we answer here live on the podcast. So if you guys have ever wanted to watch the podcast live, get an hour or 2 hours of additional Nick and Danny content a month, and then get the podcast 2 days early, get the chance to ask a question that we answer here live on the podcast, hang out with us before and after the pod. The only times that we really go live anymore is this podcast right here. You can become a member on Patreon for $4.99 a month. So Danny, got any love letters for us? So Sundrill asks, what Pokemon do you think your co-host embodies?
Okay, well, you giggled before introducing this, so I'm going to defer to you.
No, I want to hear yours first.
You want to hear mine?
Yeah.
I was trying to think, what's like just a real scumbag piece of shit Pokemon?
Oh, yeah?
Just a real, like, worthless,
the Mr.
arrogant...
Mime that was banging Ash's mom? Is that me?
I'm gonna
All right, yeah, Ash, I think you're 10. How about you leave so me and Mr. Mime can get some time alone
Ash
here?
is like, Mr. Mime, get off of her, and just puts up a wall. Ash is like, what the hell?
Fucking puts up a mirror room. He's like, my speed stats, please.
You remind me a lot of Machoke.
Let's go.
But not Machamp, or not a...
I don't have 4 arms. I can live to be Machoke.
Yeah, you remind me of Machoke because you're not good enough to be the champ.
Uh-huh.
But you look like him a little.
I'll take that.
And he's got that arrogance. He's got that like constant yeah, I've never snowboarded before. I'll do it. And then he's good at it, which is infuriating.
Well, he's not going to be a champion.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the arrogance and the annoying ability to back it up.
You wouldn't want to fight him, a joke.
No.
That's a thick man.
No.
Yeah, that was actually pretty nice. Mine for you is a Zoomeril. Because you're always wet and you're cute. that was all that came to me.
Azumarill is an insane pick.
Why?
Insane.
Look at this. That's Danny. That's Danny.
There's nothing worse than getting compared to a Pokemon you see no resemblance to.
It was that or Azurill. I was gonna go with
So
Azurill.
sad.
I
hate that we're gonna box.
Do you want to be Moril? You can be Moril.
Let's do this. Let's do this again. I'm gonna brush up on some Pokemon. Let's come up with like a list of 10 either like content creators, actors, like celebrities. Next week, let's come in and both give who we think should it be content creators. We have to be nicer.
No, we don't.
Okay, I agree.
Shit, right?
I agree. Yeah, and then they can come back at us.
Yeah,
so.
they can exactly.
Yeah.
I was surprised you didn't say Houndoom. I feel like I give Houndoom energy.
No, you give this. And then he's always talking about these lines on his arms.
I know those are that's vascularity. Baby.
He like doesn't shut up about these tats.
You know what you are.
What am I?
You know what you fucking are.
What am I?
I'll show you. You're actually gonna like this.
Okay.
You're gonna like this.
You know what? I got a new one.
You're gonna like this. You're an Absol. You're an Absol.
Let's absolutely go.
Because nobody remembers that Absol is a dark type. Which is like how everybody, when they meet Danny, you're like, oh, that's a much darker personality than I anticipated.
Everyone forgets Absol's a dark type and that he becomes a fairy. That's me, baby. Editors, that's our TikTok.
Oh my God, that's fucking spot on.
Can I give you one?
Yeah,
a more insulting one?
Uh-huh.
I think you look like cast form.
Tits? Huge tits?
Your old glasses and old balls. Tell me cast form isn't Nick.
Oh, you know what? All right, fucking. All right, then I think Danny is pseudo-wudo. All right?
How dare you? Because of my pseudo-wood.
Yeah, because he's a stick.
Damn. All right. Well, that's the pod.
Cool, guys. We appreciate you so much. We love you all.
This is what we needed. This is the key.
We're like, hey, we're not gonna. Let's do a Pokemon episode next week. We just did it this week. Me and Danny have no ability to postpone our thoughts. I'm sorry.
We got to do more of this. We'll do a list of people. People
next week,
love that.
We'll come. Should we have, man, what should we do? We should have like people vote on 10 people we have to choose or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's do the top. How about this? The top 10 suggestions from the comment section of this YouTube video we'll do.
Sure. I was going to say, should we do that first or should the first one be like, I kind of like the idea coming at like
10
TikTokers.
People? We can do that for sure.
We do TikTokers and then, because then it encourages them to come at us, which is free advertising.
Oh, I got a couple people. I got a couple people on mind.
Dude.
Andrew.
Yeah, Waffle.
Sneasel.
So out of pocket. So crazy.
All right. We love you guys. Goodbye. Mwah.